doing my part. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
Oh my goodness. That was a bit of a rush around. My apologies. I even look tired. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing. How embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. I need like a little splash on the face or something. My gosh. Oh well. Good morning. I may be a little bit late. I woke up. I must have either not turned on an alarm yesterday, which doesn't seem to be the case. I usually have a daily alarm. But I must have just, done the thing where you turn off an alarm within 0.1 of a second, and so therefore you have technically no alarm from there. Good morning. And so basically I woke up and it said 8:26 and I was supposed to stream at 8 o'clock and I was like, anyway, so I did try to get ready as quick as possible, and here we are. I even have my cup of tea, but like I said, I'm a little embarrassed. But nonetheless, I'm preparing. I wonder when you're gonna get here. I wonder. You're leaving me in suspense. Hi, Wad. Hi, guys. I'm going all right. Good to have you back here. Kindness as well. I'm all right. I am. You're right. You're right. Just like how the Brits say. Also, hi everyone who is doing all of the their parts. It's good. I actually look so tired. That's okay. But I am tired. That's why. I haven't been sleeping the last few days, which kind of sucks because I anyone I mean some of you I'm preaching to the choir right now. Don't get me wrong. Exactly, see, Mama. You just did Equinox. Ha 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 ha. But you can ask another question. I shall permit it. Hello. Welcome to the party indeed. A nice cup of tea, innit? What's good in the hood? What's good in the hood is there are a lot of things. My cup of tea is one of them. No, I'm not from London. I live near London, but I am from New Zealand, actually. No, I don't have these things. I actually forgot what they were, Archie. But no, I don't have these things. Anyway, so I haven't been sleeping well the last few days. I think it's because of my hip. For those who don't know, the title is actually about me, rather than about C Mama. I've been aging, and I've had a hip issue. And so it's been keeping me up at night because I'm literally lying there in pain. It's fine when I'm walking around. It's literally just when I lie. And also even when I'm sitting here, it's okay. And so I haven't been able to get to sleep. Last night, I just guess I was catching up to me. And so I did a little sleeping. Just a little sleep time. Can we talk about peptides? Sure, why not? Ooh, nice. Yeah. Fuck you. Go do your thing, kindness. Okay, let me have a look. Hip issue at young age? Well, that's the thing. I'm discovering that I am no longer young. Last stream was literally titled, "When Did You Get Old?" It's love. Sorry, my apologies. Anyway, you go, get cool. I'm from New Zealand. Time for my first hip replacement before 30. Exactly right. Wake up! Wake up! Yeah, I am still a youngster. Always with love. Good, good, good. 29. I am 29. What's bursitis? Wait, no, we're not getting distracted. We've been asked to talk about peptides. I don't even know what a peptide is. It's a painful inflammation. This is not peptides. This is bursitis. A painful inflammation or irritation of a bursa, which is a small fluids-filled sac that cushions bones. Ooh. Okay, I can't read anymore because if I read too much medical stuff, it makes me faint. I don't think it's a bursitis because every day my it's gotten better. Even last night, I managed to go to bed without being in pain, which was good. I just was struggling to sleep because of the previous few days. The only time I'm feeling it is actually just waking up now, and it's nowhere near as bad as it has been the last few days. So I think I've been doing well with my stretching, and so I don't think that it is bursitis. I think it is just muscles. The machine is immortal. Replace the hip. What's your stream about? I found this randomly. Well, it's coincidence you found it randomly because the stream itself is also very random. It's all coming together in that regard. I do a lot of just chatting, as you can tell. I just respond to messages, messages that come through, and then we let you guys decide what the stream is about. Hello, how you going, channels? New Zealand, indeed. I don't want to know old age. Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. Thoughts on Keir Starmer? To be honest, I don't know a lot about British politics. I know I've just moved to the UK, but I know very, very little about the UK politics. I also feel so bloody close. I'm trying to read this, so I'm going to just see what this is. Peptides are short chains of 2 to 50 amino acids that act as building blocks for proteins and signaling molecules in the body. Naturally present in foods and the body, they are widely used in skincare. Oh, so it's trying to keep you nice and young in that sense. But otherwise, they are somewhat natural. But they are known for their skin hydration and reversing signs of aging. Today I learnt, I suppose. To be honest though, I don't know what an amino acid is. I've heard this word thrown around when it comes to nutrition, but I don't know exactly what it is. Have you ever been dumped? I am an elder. Of course I've been dumped. I suppose some people could theoretically go through their life either being single, being in one relationship, or always being the one who dumps people. But yes, I remember it. I was 15. I was 15, and I even remember his name, and it was so sad. But yes, it happens. When you tell someone you look good while fixing their bow tie. Oh, I missed which that one was for. Oh, is when you tell a wave they're doing a good job. That's cute. A little peptide. Just a little pep them up. with politics, the only winning move is not to play. Well, I don't get me wrong. In terms of mental health, I completely agree. Also, it's good to see you again, Canaro. However, on the reverse, the only thing that you can do to help with politics in a scenario that you're not happy with is vote. And so, therefore, you kind of have to play. If you're going to vote, you have to play. But I suppose you could, by the same logic that you are running, you could just abstain from voting and accept whatever the scenario is, right? So you just go, well, that's my fault for not voting. And then ignorance is bliss. You accept the state of affairs, so on and so forth. Of course, that can have ramifications. People might be like, well, you yellow belly coward not voting. I don't know. But yes, I do agree. I just also needed to debate for no reason. DNA is deoxyribon. I can never say
I'm doing my
DNA,
part.
Scoot. Deoxyribonucleic ribbon. It's the one in the middle. Deoxyribonucleic acid. That was so. I can't even say it. I've never thought about the fact that I've never had to say this out loud. Peptides can also be poly. There we go. How is Young Vamp Cage? Incredible. I was so entertained. I loved it. An elder, indeed. Groups of amino acids join to form protein. Yes, I saw that, but apparently peptides also do something similar. Thank you for the follow. We signed peace agreements. She formal conditionally surrendered and even sued for peace. Me? Oh, right, for the relationship. There we go. I missed your one before. My apologies. Did he give up racing you to the bridge? He did. I can't even remember what his name was in the movie. Hey, so sad. Hello, I'm from New Zealand. When you're on a date, what are you looking for in a guy? Like qualities? That they're a woman? No, I'm kidding. I was half kidding. Okay, I'm on a date with a guy. I like someone who basically doesn't even have my sense of humor, but understands my sense of humor, which is basically like dad jokes, I suppose. And it relies heavily on throwbacks. They don't have to find it funny. They just have to keep up with it. So I get, and I also like someone who's patient, I suppose, and likes to go for walks. I don't know. Messi or Ronaldo? Messi. Hi, Vax. How you going? Clamino acid. Hilarious. People call it Deoxy Hill. That's very funny. You're clever. You're clever for that. That's very clever. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Ass. You said ass, Killer Grunt. Hey, emo boy. How you going? Thank you for the alert, Corey. You're welcome to give us your fish fact now, though, if you'd like, so that before we get too distracted, because I'll probably actually read it if you do. But thank you for the lurk. Don't feel obligated if you're lurking. Go to a nice restaurant and talk the right way with the attitude will be a good day. Exactly. I'm not really a fan of restaurants for the first date. I'm more of a coffee first date kind of person. That's my vibe. Yeah, Corey often has fish facts. It's quite awesome. I like it. Okay, look at her teeth. I feel like the brick wall is a Pink Floyd reference. Yes, I built it specifically for Pink Floyd. Pretty impressive, hey? I wanted people to be like, whoa, brick wall, Pink Floyd. That is exactly why I built it. No, it's been here before I was. Okay, cool. Can you try speaking in an American accent? Please, we must hear it. Hold on. I have to practice. I haven't really done my American accent in a long time. It used to be really good. I can do like a Valley Girl accent. That's like really easy, you know? Like, it's fine. But like, if we're not doing an American like Valley Girl accent, then it's a little bit harder. Okay, tear down this wall. We have authority. We are America. Okay, so why do you want me to do an American accent anyway? I don't really, yeah, like which American accent, that's another thing to consider. Why is a big thing. Like, why? I don't know what it is about Americans who like want to hear a non-American speak like an American. Is it because they often get it really wrong? Like, I don't know what it is. Also, I don't know what like
I'm doing my
this
part.
personality is. I think I've kind of dulled down the Valley Girl, where it's still Valley Girl, but it's like a little bit more. I went to college. I went to college, so I'm a little bit more educated, but by God, am I still running for president, you know? I'm like Pam Bondi. That's where I'm headed. Is that like you know, she anyway. Jersey. How Jersey is always what Margot Robbie was doing. I'm not gonna do any other ones. 4 + 4 is 8, and God ate when he dealt you that face card. I had no idea where that was going, Kool-Aid, and I am so flattered. Oh my God, I'm blushing. My cheeks are turning the color of my hair. Thank you. Thank you very much. My goodness gracious me. Do an Australian accent? Okay, I'm doing an Australian accent right now. Can you hear it? No, I'm kidding. My Australian accent is terrible. I don't actually have an Australian accent. I have a New Zealand accent. That's where I'm from. But if I try to do a strong Australian accent, it just turns into a Kiwi accent. So my best bet is just to talk exactly how I normally speak and hope people assume that I'm Australian, like I'm from Adelaide or something. First date, I prefer some kind of activity, if only it being a promenade by the seaside or through a park with a takeaway coffee instead of sitting still at a cafe restaurant. I like that. Oh, I can do this thing. Maybe that will make me not need to sneeze. Okay, I think it's going away. Yeah, I'm stuck in the valley. Pam was more whiny. That's true. It was a lot more nasal, wasn't it? Or is a lot more nasal. RP Amy House Wine. Oh no, not the house wine. Are you the skater's girl? She was a skater girl. Wait, she was the skater's girl. Also, do you think that the baby was his? Okay, we have officially our rabbit hole. We officially have our rabbit hole, all right? Has anyone in UK told you to throw shrimp on the barbie? No, that's more of an American thing. No one in the UK actually cares. They're just fine. Skater girl, boy, skater boy, the other one. Some skinny guy just jabbed me a bloody needle into my friend, or fiend rather, Simon's arm and said, "Now you have it too." Well, you're able to type. I suggest instead of typing to call the ambulance yourself. I'm just putting it out there that might be the sensible thing to do. I know that when you're in these high adrenaline moments, you don't necessarily think straight, but that's why we're thinking straight for you, okay? Just hands off the keyboard and call the ambulance yourself. You got this. You're a Kiwi? That's heaps better. Thank ya. Flick your tongue at the top of your mouth for tease, you reckon? Oh yeah, Minnesota. That's the only thing I can say. Minnesota. If that helped. A season lounge, I saw you say Minnesota. Wisconsin. I know that they're very wide. That's the only thing I know is everything's wide. But I don't know how to do them up there. And the New Jersey. I'm walking here. Is that New Jersey or is that New York? I don't know. Were you rich growing up? Was I rich growing up? We were well off, yes. I think that I would say that our family got, because my dad's a doctor, so I don't feel uncomfortable sharing this. You can, and not only is he a doctor, he's a surgeon. So you can make your own inference. We were pretty much single income after a while. So I would say when I was a teenager is when I think we really well, dad's worked really bloody hard. My parents didn't grow up wealthy at all. Both of them grew up quite well, my mum was very poor and my dad was not like his parents weren't very wealthy at all. I think a lot of the reason they got by is because they lived in a country that was able to not pay for their things, but they made enough money just to get by, essentially. But my dad has done very well for himself to get to where he is. So he was able to support our whole family, a wife and 3 kids. But when I was very young, like I do remember it being a little bit more of a struggle. I guess when he was still early days of his career. Mum was working a little bit too, but she mainly did the household things. And then she stopped working when I was a teenager. So I think that when she stopped working was really when I realized that my dad was earning well because he was able to support on a single income. So I wouldn't say we were rich. I think compared to other people, he is a surgeon after all. But I don't know what I would mark as rich. Like I don't know what that is necessarily. But my dad has done very well at teaching me money management. And he doesn't really buy things. So I suspect he's actually a lot wealthier than even I realize. He always got really shitty cars. And even for us, he would never drive something very fancy. So they've got a nice house, don't get me wrong, but it's not like a super, it's a modest house. Anyway. So that answers your question. Okay, but we're gonna listen to Avril Lavigne. We're not gonna play it because I'll get copyright strike. But we will talk about it. Yeah, he bringing in the surgeon dollar. It's I don't need to say much more than that. To Wisconsin, I can't. Yes, I was the only ginger for a long time, but my nephew has slightly red hair, not as red as mine, and it's not staying red as he's aging. He's only like 11. But otherwise, I'm the only redhead. So there's definitely something on my side of the family if my cousins don't have red hair, but my nephew does. You know what I mean? Bully a busy is trying to teach a pig about. Wait, bully a busy? I don't know what this is. Nonetheless. Okay, might sound weird, but I'll explain it later. When did you realize that your dad was an immigrant? Ooh. I think it was in school when because I never knew my dad's accent. A lot of people who have parents who are immigrants will understand what I mean. Is you don't hear your parents' accent. It's really, really difficult because that's just how they speak. So I never could hear his accent compared to a New Zealander. It was just how my dad speaks. And so I think it was probably around the time when my friends started talking about his accent. And I was like, what do you mean? What accent? I don't have an exact answer for you though. You reckon about 250 grand is rich? Yeah, I mean, I don't, my dad wouldn't earn that per year. But he has been working for 40 years? So yes, he could buy a house. We'll put it that way. Yeah, I'm poor. That's a good point. My dad is not poor. I'm poor. Hi, Griffin. Welcome. I'm a New Zealander. Yeah. New Zealand should be on your bucket list. It's beautiful. So beautiful. The people also might want to kill you, so that's why you shouldn't go to Australia. Haha. Thank you, Donald Trump. Perfect version of Avril. I can't watch any music, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm from Romania. Hi, hello, hi, big white. Hi. Ah, there we go, Q-Man. Yeah, even your mom has an accent. Okay. That's hilarious, Lockstay. I have a tattoo already, Liam. I only have one tattoo, but I got it last year. That's the first time that I had it. Anwar, no one is out here saying anything other than what you're saying. So why do you feel like the need to share that? Are you trying to get a rise out of me? Are you trying to offend me? Like, I'm not sitting here being like, oh my God, guys, I'm so pretty. Like, no one was trying to say the contrary to what you're saying, Anwar. So question yourself on why you want to share this commentary. Like, why do you feel the need to talk about someone's looks? Just let me know. Let me know. We're learning. We're learning together. You didn't notice what you're born into. Exactly, yeah. Reason for asking is both my parents from the UK. They were here for 15 years before they had me. I only realized in my late 20s I knew that where they were from, but I think due to them being white and English speaking country, there weren't as much differences. Yeah, and the JW stuff as well. I think that it probably could have something to do with the accents as well. Like I said, I never knew my dad's accent. I definitely would have known he moved in school. But this is the other thing, is my dad's a very proud man. He's very proud to be German. And so I think that has an element of it. Whereas if he decided to be a New Zealander, maybe I would be even less aware that he's an immigrant. He's a German. When talking about the British class system, how would you describe your family? For the nobility, same thing. Dad's a doctor. And I feel like they did pretty well even back in the day, you know? My tattoo is a crane. Just here. Ow, my shoulder cracked. Just above my elbow. And it is an origami crane because we folded 1,000 origami cranes. Okay. I don't want anyone to tickle me. I would tell, I don't know about tickling someone else, but I would, to avoid being tickled, I would immediately share the answers. Okay, this is Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is my favorite Pokemon, so that is why I have a Bulbasaur. Girls always judge us for height. Is that okay? We can't even say you're average. So, first of all, you are saying things that I am not. So keep that in mind. You're making an assumption that girls will judge on height. And don't get me wrong, there are some that will. But they don't have to speak for everyone. And why do you think... No, this is like a genuine question. I'm not trying to do a gotcha or anything on what... I'm genuinely asking for your opinion. I don't want you to talk about height. I don't want you to talk about any other things. I just want you to simply answer, why do you feel it's okay to comment on someone's appearance? I'm trying to learn from you. I'm not trying to do a gotcha. I am trying to learn from you. I would like you to give me your answer. I'm a natural redhead, pale skin. You're probably tropped. As in, who said that? What? Are you trying to say that's what I think? Or you're saying I'm probably tropped even though you can see what I look like? I'm missing this. My dad's German, yeah. I did have braces, yes. I'm so proud how we folded 1,000 cranes. It was a group effort. When you're not accustomed to the New Zealand accent, have you been wrapped? I don't know what that means. I've never heard this one in Katana. Anwar, see how you're not answering the question? Do you not want to engage in conversation? Like, I'm actually asking a question. I'm genuinely asking a question. I want to know. From Ms. Yuri, hi Enter, how you going? Hi Cash. Fish fact of the day. Some live-bearing fish like guppies and platies can store sperm for up to 9 months. This allows them to produce several broods without having a male around. Damn. Does that mean they can choose when to have the baby? I know red pandas can do that as well. How many dates does a guy have to go on a date to tell a girl he loves her? That is too subjective. There's no number that you might go on one date and be in love. There is no number. That absolutely not. I'm well, Enter. Thank you very much for being back here in that case. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow's not arrived, but today was a here, so just relax and enjoy. Thank you. Hi, Silver. Gop, gop, gop. I'm pretty sure you're my cousin from Auntie Marjorie's side of the family. I don't know an Auntie Marjorie. But anyway, I probably do have one. I come from a large family, so I don't know Marjorie, but hey, cousin, good to see you. Looks like Anwar doesn't want to engage. Isn't that interesting though? Like the thing is that I give people the opportunity and they just choose not to engage unless they're really thinking about it and typing. As soon as the spotlight's on them, they run away. It's like, I just find it fast. Oh no, there we go. I take it back. So apparently she thinks calling someone average is bad. That is not what I said. So Anwar, you are not listening to me. I asked you, why do you think it is okay? So you are not answering the question. It's a very simple question. I've only asked the one. Why do you think it's okay to comment on someone's appearance? I'm not saying about whether you're calling someone average or someone ugly. I could be talking about whether you call them hot as well. It's one question. One question. Why do you feel it is okay to talk about someone's appearance? No matter how they look, whether they're chopped, whether they're the hottest person you've seen. I'm not talking about how you think about me. I just want to know why you feel it's okay to talk about someone's appearance. Just fill me in. Let me learn through your perspective. I'm not Irish, no. Auntie Margarine, I probably did say margarine. Not living, to make it more confusing, I'm not even living in New Zealand anymore. I'm a New Zealander with German heritage, but I live in the UK now. Make sure I'm not drinking beer. Well, it is nice and early in the morning. It would certainly help me. Anwar seems think someone needs to be kept in check, which is a red flag for me. Are you German? Yeah, mein Papa kommt aus Deutschland. Yes, my dad comes from Germany. Is it wrong to compliment people on their appearance? I don't think so. And so I think this is a good example of you're able to find the nuance. You're able to understand that being able to talk about someone's appearance isn't inherently a bad thing. However, of course, by the same logic, notion, when you talk about someone's appearance could be incredibly inappropriate. So they talk about this in the workplace. You might have the hottest colleague to ever exist, like an 11 out of 10. Supermodels will cower in their presence. You have the hottest coworker ever to exist. Is it now okay to be like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous when you're in the workplace? They have entire videos about this. Your question was ridiculous, ref, do something. Why don't you feel the ability to answer it, Anwar? See, even Polito's question about is it wrong to compliment people on their appearance is more of an answer than what you've given me. Like, what is the issue here? So I can already tell you probably aren't going to be able to answer the question, so I'm going to give you a little spiel. I am not offended by your message. I recognize that a lot of people will not find me attractive. I am not here live streaming because I am trying to get or fishing for compliments. I am here because I enjoy conversation. I like talking to people. I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to have an honest conversation, and you are not offering me the same thing. That is what I am offended by.
I highly recommend that the first time that you go into a live stream, you don't immediately make it about someone's appearance, whether they're male, female, any gender. Just give yourself an opportunity to strip away the physicality and just listen. See if the person that you are watching, do you find them funny? Do you find them interesting? Don't make it about the physicality, and don't waste your time on the internet talking about people's appearances. It's like, what is that serving you? Genuinely, this isn't even about me. What is that serving you? What is it serving you to talk about someone's appearance? Just ask yourself that. Done. Done. Okay, that is all. And now we're not gonna address anything more. It is now up to you to decide if you want to continue being here. Anyway, hi, gay. Who, me? Hell yeah, baby. Speaking about parents to pretty people to their face and ugly people behind their back. See, edgy, way more honest than this guy. I respect the hell out of this because at least you're honest about it. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. You have at least expressed to me how you feel, and I respect it. Edgy, you're badass. You're a badass. Do you so you consider someone commenting positively to your appearance kind of similar to than a negative comment? Like I said, it depends on context. You cannot have a blanket rule to everything. And so this is where it can get more complex because a lot of people, and I find a lot of guys, definitely... See, now you're just attacking other people, my guy. Now you're just attacking other people. Like, what is the necessary there? Like, and then did Josh, did you even say anything about me? So he's like, Josh, please don't simp for my brick wall. It has feelings. This is a workplace. This is harassment. If you're complimenting my brick wall, please. Like, I am going to need you to go to HR, Josh. You can't just compliment my brick wall like that, okay? You can't just do this. Please no simping for my brick wall. Your wall is all bricked up. You can't just comment on it, okay? Stop talking about my brick wall, guys. Thanks, Phil. Okay, I'm gonna catch up with some of these other messages. Other fish like clownfish are also quite interesting because there's also only one female and they don't care about incest, so that the movie Finding Nemo really is about Nemo's father transitioning. Oh my gosh, that's kind of cute. Wait, and looking for Nemo to procreate. Wait. That's a very different story in that case. Never compliment anyone referring directly to their body. Body talk is nearly always a mistake. Exactly. It's a pretty good, even if you can't have a blanket rule on everything, I do think that that's a pretty good rule. Just don't do it. Compliment on someone's personality. It's like, wow, you're so funny. That's much better than being like, wow, your waist looks snatched. I'm a guy and at a birthday party last night, the birthday boy told me I should be more positive because I'm good looking. And honestly, it made me just feel worse and uncomfortable. Yes, pretty people can't have problems, Canaro, obviously. You're not allowed to not feel good because you are attractive and therefore you are not allowed to feel sad. It is not allowed. That is all your friend was trying to communicate. But seriously, I think that it is really unfortunate that they decided, like you say, it's just weird. It's just weird for someone to make that comment. And I completely understand that it would have made you uncomfortable because what's to say, first of all, who's the judgment on you being more positive? Like, you're just trying to do your own thing, so it's dismissing where you are, because even if you were at the party and you were feeling a little bit down or whatever it is dismissing how you're feeling in that moment. Or alternatively, it's like, do I just have resting bitch face? Like, what about it am I not... What's the problem? Am I not a positive guy? And so then to boil it down to your appearance, I completely understand the discomfort, and that is really sad that you went through that. I'm sorry to hear it. German people have a weird sense of humor. Is it only a stereotype? No, Germans' humor is ridiculous. I love it. Oh, thank you. I didn't even realize I said your name correctly, Polito, but now I'm doubting myself. If conditions aren't suitable, I imagine the adult fish would choose not to produce offspring. Added part to the fact the female can replace the sperm with fresher sperm. Oh my gosh, thank you, Corey. Thank you for sharing. Very cool. I shouldn't compliment my homie's absolute dump truck of an ass. You have to establish enough of a relationship before you do that. But make sure, you know what? I trust that you have emotional intelligence enough to be able to comment on their ass. You got it. You got this. Your homie needs to know, all right? They need to know. Shark fact. Do you know shark eggs are commonly called mermaid's purses or devil's purses? I only learnt that a few months ago, actually. We'll get the update on that shortly. There's more to life than how you look. Vanity, as it was described in the Bible, was a sin, not because you're obsessed with your appearance and that's self-centered, but because it's a waste of time. Well, hopefully Anwar will learn as well. Honestly, what do you want me to tell you? Oh, I would like you to tell me. Oh, Bill Clinton, this is incredible. I would like you to tell me. Well, we've just had the Aliens released. Have you ever had an experience that you cannot describe and have assumed it might be aliens? That's what I want to know. You don't have to tell us the story. You can just say yes or no, but that's what I want to know. Would be because if an ugly man compliments a pretty lady and she doesn't like it, he's creepy, and that's also why people should just not compliment. Then this person, if they don't want to be seen as creepy, they could just be seen as a nice person if they don't make it about the woman's appearance. I think you got a great mindset. Oh, thank you, Griffin. That's really kind. Hi, Goku. How do you tell the difference between a girl being nice versus being attracted to you? I am a big fan of direct communication. So, first of all, never assume she is attracted to you. But if you are feeling like, so if they're being nice, just assume they're being nice rather than they're being flirty. But if you're feeling like there might be an extra element, maybe she's like laughing a lot or something, playing with her hair. I'm a big fan of direct communication. So you can ask. The scary thing about that is you have to be prepared for rejection and also be prepared for potentially not having a relationship, because if she thinks that you are, as in a platonic relationship, if she thinks that you're only interested in her because you're pursuing something, then she might not want to have a friendship with you. And if you're okay with that, then it's good to just know. It's just good to know. Ooh, a speakeasy. That's the first time I've gotten the commentary on a speakeasy. But no, not. I could turn it into a speakeasy, though, I suppose. I like blankets, heated blankets. I like heated blankets as well. Aw, it finds comfort with your tomb. I'm sorry to hear about this. Hi, Brandy Mean. And he holds a comb, and that wall is a massive hole. You are crass. I find this channel offensive. I'm contacting HR. Go enjoy Invincible. You're so funny is a lot better than nice tits, Sugar. Exactly right. Okay. You are attractive. Thank you, Dad. Never thought I'd say that sentence. My goodness gracious. My, you have a great waist hips to shoulder ratio. Pretty people can't have problems is exactly what he was getting at. Yeah. Yeah. I just watched a video actually that there was this girl on TikTok who was complaining about how bad her problems were because she was pretty. It was ridiculous. Nonetheless, shark facts continued. Female sharks possess the remarkable ability to store sperm inside their bodies for extended periods. Oh my gosh! Just like Corey's fact. A reproductive adaptation that allows them to conceive long after mating or when a suitable mate is not present. This underwater sperm bank capability is a survival strategy, particularly in environments where males and females are spread out or when mating encounters are rare. Oh my gosh, so we got more that do this. Calm down, we need to relax. We will relax. Your brick wall is goated, thank you. I do appreciate it. You're so insecure that you put me in a timeout. So if you are now saying that I am insecure, I can tell you that it wasn't me. My mods have clearly seen something that you have done that resulted in a timeout, but I can tell you that that is not an insecurity that I have. But I would say that you yourself, Anwar, have an insecurity on the sense that you are incapable of just answering a question. Instead, you are attacking me, you're attacking the mods, you're attacking other people, you called someone a simp for no reason. You are clearly lashing out instead of just taking an opportunity to engage. That's all. How many roads must a man walk down? Your homie does need to know they have a smoking ass. Exactly right. The mods even said to you, Anwar, the mods even said, please don't attack other users. And you're curious why you got timed out? Like, come on. Come on. Keep losing my keys in my apartment, and at the point I swear it's because of aliens. Maybe a fairy? Perhaps a brownie? Have you ever heard of a brownie? A brownie is a type of fairy. I reckon that's what's been stealing your keys. You can look into it. Thank me later. Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fall in love with someone you shouldn't fall in love with? That one took me a while. I think it's the idea over the thought. If they have the idea of love brings together, then it's the thought, then it's only one side down. I missed what that was for, sorry. I prefer the direct, honest approach. Oh, yeah, okay. At least you know when you stand. I completely agree, Griffin. Plus, I've been rejected more times than I've had hot and cold dinners in my life, so I'm used to it. Well, that's actually not a bad thing, because then, like you say, you can at least get the direct approach, and you go, okay, well, now I don't have to pine after this, because I know, you know? Spill the beans. Have you ever dated someone? Anwar, what do you think? Do you think I have ever dated someone? Like, you've not been able to answer the other questions, but answer me that instead. Do you think I have dated someone? Because I've had girls who dated me for a day and just ghosted me, the idea of love should be like Lego pieces. It should connect. Yes, exactly right. But that's the thing, is one person can fall in love with someone and the other person not fall in love as well. And so it's nice when the Lego pieces connect. But it is not always the case, you know? Hi, madman. Most guys I've gone home with are just people who are decently attractive and believe in themselves. A bit of confidence, perhaps. And I'm not picky, yeah. It's good to see what works. Other users sound like simps. Yeah, if you are an other user, you are a simp. And I'm fucking hot. We love this self-confidence. I believe it. I believe it. Just simply by you telling me this, I believe it. Do you need to ask you, do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? I think I got it. I just was losing the melody. You need to visit my university in California. Okay, we can do that. For the first time someone asked me and I wasn't able to give a straight answer. You know what? That is, I am very appreciative that you were able to have that reflection. We need a name other than users. Makes me feel like a drug addict. As if that is not the correct name to use. So apparently, and this is something that I tried to float by for people years ago, there is a brand of clementine. So for those who don't know, a clementine is a mandarin. And apparently there is a brand in, I think it's America, that sell clementines and they're called cuties. And so I thought that it would be really cute to call everyone cuties. What do you cuties think? But the thing is that I don't want to call everyone a cutie. I only want the people who are nice to be called cuties. Like, just because you chat in the chat doesn't mean that you're a cutie, you know what I mean? If you come back, maybe then you can be a cutie. Satsumas are quite sweet. I didn't even mean to say that. Cuties is cute, isn't it? Cuties is cute. I have friends in the UK. I'm literally talking to my guy in Oxfordshire. Oh my gosh, I'm a little bit more southern than that. I'm down in Hampshire. But yes, Canaro, I will consider this because I don't like using the word chat. Hey, chat, what do you think? Chatters, chat. What's up, chat? Tell me your thoughts, chat. I don't like saying chat. I know that that's what even people who are not live streamers use nowadays. Even people in schools call each other chat. I had a teacher who was saying that they just refer to each other as chat, and I hate that. Are you AI? Yes. Gang. So yeah, definitely. Hey, gang, what do you think? Hey, Nate. Hey, cuties, what do you think? Isn't cuties cute? Hey, chat room, we gaming tonight? Yo, chat, what do you think? Patooties is cute as well. After asking how they feel can have the benefit of them thinking of you in a different light. The fact might be they have never considered you in that way, and now they might actually consider it. This is about expressing your intentions and your attraction. What do you do here? We just chat. We chat with a couple of cuties. We chat with cuties. You know how it be. What in your cup? It was just black tea, madman. Are you a Hufflepuff? No, actually. Usually, if I ever do a Harry Potter test, it goes in between Gryffindor, Slytherin, and Ravenclaw, and I very rarely get Hufflepuff. Maybe I should do a test again. I'm asexual and I totally agree. Never comment on someone's appearance. It's creepy. There we go. Another blanket rule, and I'm okay with this. I am indeed okay with this. You have to be nice, kind approach for the most part and empathetic, sympathetic. But when called for, you have to be tough as nails and just be direct and have a sense of cojones. Exactly right, Griffin. Okie dokie. Happy Mother's Day as well. It's Mother's Day in a few countries. We weren't intentionally talking about Harry Potter, but apparently it's there. Ready for a California sleepover? Indeed. If you can communicate your emotions and still can communicate while having sex, you're honestly ahead of nearly 99% of guys who exist. I completely agree. Completely. Best icebreaker when talking to girls at bars. Hey, you like stuff? I like stuff too. I'm chat. I don't think without a yeah, exactly. I don't think without a prompt. People who are good looking should be named a cutie. You're just a level below cute. Well, how will I know? How will I know when people are just usernames? So Anwar, for example, how do I know whether to call you a cutie if I don't know what you look like? If you're a level below cute, what would be a reference to include you? Unless you're out here saying that actually you do deserve the cutie name. Well, in that case, I just have to accept it. I just have to accept that. I love someone who is cute but also values people, and I also learn how to value, and I've been interested in some guys. There we go, Tyson. We are chat room, exactly. We are the chat room. The chat room. One streamer calls us internet. That's quite funny. I will leave that to them. That feels like stepping on someone else's territory, you know. I'm not familiar with Tommy Robinson, sorry. Parole, I don't know who this is. I don't feel... Where was this? I don't feel cutie, but if it's a vote, I abstain. So then you have to just accept what the democratic order is. Identify as chat, not cutie. God damn it. We've got too many variations now. Not gang, but gang like a 50-year. Hey, gang, what do you think? I actually don't mind gang. I do give off, like, trying to be hip auntie vibes. What do you think, gang? What do you think? What's the consensus? You look like you take multivitamins in the morning with matcha latte. Well, I don't. I don't have matcha and I don't take multivitamins, but I feel like I give Californian girl vibes sometimes, so I kind of get it. Are you autistic? Probably. I'm not formally diagnosed, but we have suspicions. Hi, Roxy. How you going? I wouldn't talk to her in real life, as in me specifically. So, okay, actually, here's another question, Anwar. I do... Oh, no, you mean the blonde girl. Okay, never mind. I was going to ask a question, but I see that you're probably talking about the blonde girl. I'm not autistic. I'm acoustic. Lots of acoustics up here. Someone at the basketball court told me I had a good physique the other day. I appreciate it. Feel free to comment on me. See, but now we have Nate who has been able to express that, and now we have clear communication. Nate, you got a great rockin' bod. Good for you. Richard, name is excremental. That's hilarious. That's so funny. I love that. Oh my gosh. I'm a sad panda today. My 49-inch monitor died. That is very sad. I understand the tears in that one, Lexington. You're right. You're right. Okay, hear me out, cuties and mules. I literally, within the first few months of streaming, I used the term mules, but it went over everyone's head. So a mule is meant to be like the segments as well. So you, a Shinebox, oh gosh, you've got a big green flag in my book. That is incredible. The fact that you know this word, c'est magnifique. Yeah, I tried to make it fly over on Twitch within the first few months of streaming. It didn't fly. It didn't fly, but nonetheless. I do appreciate it. For the one person who gets it, you got it. So I feel like I would address Madman's question. Can I pop this out? Can I pop this out? Does this allow me to pop this out? I will find out. Cohorts? Cohorts is fun. See you later, Goku. You can call me Hottie, though if not Cutie. I told you I'm redhead. That doesn't, well, as someone who's also a redhead, that doesn't guarantee that you're a hottie. Like, you know, so that just because you're a redhead doesn't mean you're a hottie. I can tell you that from experience, guy. Is this an airport? Because people are announcing their departure. It's just nice. Then we can say goodbye, you know? I'm slumming it with a 50-inch TV as a monitor. I can tell you that it's not fun when you have to use the TV. I have to get a new one before 1st of July. Yes, claim it on tax for sure. You call me whatever you want. Not much offense to me, to be honest. And if anyone does call me something offensive, I'll respond with an appropriate level of sarcasm. I feel like that's very healthy. I like that. Clemhorts, that's cute. That's cute. Why do people keep on asking if you're AI? I ask myself this as well, gringo. I do not know. I do not know. Gang gives vibe. Yeah, I don't mind gang. I try not to think it hurts. You're correct with that commentary. Gang sounds too much like you're trying to be a cool youth pastor. Exactly. That's the point. That's the whole idea. Yeah, with the brick wall gang. Oh, is there something we can do about Pink Floyd, maybe? I'm a mother lover, you're a mother lover, we should fuck each other's mothers. Don't try to say lyrics and not expect me to try and sing them, you know? Not autistic, just a redhead. Yeah, I'm a gang leader, I like it. I don't know who Mal Giodrick is, though. I'm not sure this. I do need to go to the gym and build some muscles, that's true. Especially if I'm going to be a gang leader. I need to be able to hold my position by being intimidating physically. Not gonna lie, I love not necessarily being diagnosed, but living that life. Agree. Agree, zombie. California vibes, you mean you're homeless? Yes, exactly. A beach bum, as they say. A ginger's allowed to date other gingers asking for a friend. Yes, that way we can keep the ginger line pure. Can I steal your acoustic joke? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm talking about you. I wouldn't dare to talk to you in real life. Okay, actually, in that case, Anwar, I do have another question for you. Let's see if you can answer this one. So if you wouldn't dare talk to me in real life, why are you talking now? Like, again, it's not a gotcha. I'm just trying to understand the thinking. Like, you have been here for, what, 20 minutes now? And you've also come on a second account. So you got timed out and you've come back on a second account. So you say you would never talk to me in real life. And yet you have spent, with your free will, 15, 20 minutes here. Like, are you pitying me? Are you trying to make me feel better? Like, what's the idea there? Tribe? What do you guys think, tribe? Hey, what's the tribe think? Tribe. What's the goal? I would love to be acoustic, but I'm just percussionist and getting more so each year. Bada-boom. What's the cringiest fashion choice you made growing up? Oh, I can tell you exactly what that is. I already know. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Hi, Zach. Thank you so much. Flex for chat. Can I send you 500 cash? Yes, you can. Absolutely. I will accept this. I will accept that. Hey, individuals. Howdy. I could say singles to really be mean. You're very kind and your smile is lovely. Thank you. I'm dyeing my hair red. Awesome. I hope you enjoy it. Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen? Lewis Hamilton, only because he's so handsome, though. Oh my god! If I came in, I tell you what, he's just so eloquent, and Lewis Hamilton. He makes him. Hoo-wee. I tell you what. Have you ever struggled with depression? Yes, I still struggle with depression. You might make third lieutenant in a gang, but anything above that is risky. Don't even think I would get there, but I do appreciate the aspirations. I think people ask your AI because of the image texture. Exactly, yeah, because I've got a nice camera. It softens the background, and they're wondering why is there a brick wall. We've tried to go through these as well. I don't know if your landlord would love if you painted the bricks white to represent the album cover. They'd probably let me do it as long as I revert it. I just don't think it would help with resale value, or it would put it up, Get accused of intimidation because I'm physically dominant, but I'm genuinely a nice guy. I believe that. I feel like a lot of large individuals often have gentle personalities. It kind of balances it, Mel and Sue from GBBO. She's an adorable English comedian. Okay, no, I didn't know that one. Hi, Dory. Good to see you. Hope you're well. I'm 29, Matthew. As Onward ponders Jeopardy music. I love it. A Tribe Called Quest. I don't know this one. It's voice acting girl. Hello. Thank you so much. Cheers from Canada. Thank you, Epic Fishy. Hope you're well. Good to see you again. The brick wall definitely gives off 80s comedy club vibe. That one we get a lot of for sure. So Anwar, I think you still haven't answered the questions. So Anwar, I understand you might be a little bit younger, as you've said, but just because you're young doesn't mean
doing my part.
You can't think about these things, especially if you're going to uni as well. It's good to have the brain working. You want to challenge these things. You want to challenge your thoughts. And so maybe instead of typing, just actually breathe and think, okay, what is my answer to this question? And then if you're like, hey, I don't have an answer right now, I'll think about it. Then you can continue chatting about things that aren't about the question I asked. But just helping you with that. You look like my perfect ex. I'm sorry that you guys split up. If she was perfect, then that's very unfortunate. Super busy with the rescue. You got this. Alexander Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton is a Formula One racing car driver.
I'm doing my part.
Can I dye my hair pink and care what? Yeah, I think you can dye your hair pink. I accept this. Yes, it is my natural hair color. You got it. Turner onto Q chat? I know. I don't know this one, kindness. What do you actually call us on the outside? Are we your audience? Let me have a think about it. I say community. The word I actually use is community. Even if people are new to the community, I still use the word community because people can leave and we can kick people out of the community. So I was like, if I'm saying, oh yeah, I had a conversation on my stream today with my community. That is the actual word. Hey community. But that's the problem, right? Is I often don't shorten names, for example. If someone has a name, I often don't use their shortened version of it. So, like I don't know why the word Sebastian has come to my mind, but I wouldn't call them Seb. I would say, oh, Sebastian, etc. So I don't really want to call you commies. So if you can think of a shortened, abbreviated version of community, then that is the one that I use naturally. Tribe, where is this one? I personally believe painting bricks should be a crime. I also agree with this. But where was this one? Tribe Called Quest are dope. Oh, okay, music. There we go. Of course I didn't know about it. I thought you were younger. When's your birthday? In June. I'm turning the big 30 this year in only 1 month. Oh my God, only 1 month. I am celebrating the best way I know how. I am doing a solo trip for a weekend away in Copenhagen, and I'm going to play like 2 days of Pokemon. It's going to be awesome. Hi, Nick. Good to see you again. Hi from the Philippines. Hi, Matt. Only quite the brain with drugs and alcohol after dreams have died. Exactly. You get it. You get it. A fellow elder, I see. If you do not know the rap group A Tribe Called Quest, if you're a fan of hip-hop, I'd extremely suggest and give them a listen. There we go. Maybe you can listen to them later. Australian is a common misconception, I understand. What hip-hop are you most familiar with? I'm thinking of a lot of R&B that's coming to mind from when my siblings used to listen to it. But to say what I'm most familiar with, I don't know what I'm most familiar with, but I'd say that from my generation, it's kind of hard to know hip hop versus pop. I think a lot of it bled over into pop for what was kind of given to us. New Zealand, not Australian. I have to think about it. Bye, dude. It's 4 a.m. It was no cutie talking to you, not looking at you. On a sweet note, have a good day. Anwar, thank you so much for the well wishes. Hopefully we can chat properly again in the future. And you can mull over some of the things today. Have a good rest, all right? I hope that you sleep well. I hope you heal from things you never talk about. Thank you. That's very sweet. I do really appreciate it. That's a cute sweater. Thank you. I really like this sweater, but I don't have a lot of outfits I can wear it with. Okay. When I was 20, I really wanted white hair. So I went to a girl's salon and asked for white hair. After 3 hours, I left with fluorescent yellow. Yeah, it takes a long time before it actually goes white. We're little Clemmies, you reckon? You're fit, thank you. Why the hell are you so gorgeous? Genetics. What's wrong with calling us commies, comrade? Comrade is kind of cute. But again, I know a lot of people won't want to be called comrade. Comrades, what do you think? The thing is that if we label ourselves as comrades, it probably would either be very detrimental or it would weed out people very quickly. The commune, like a commune. There's something there. There's something there. A deeply German film. Why pickup lines are called pickup lines? Ooh, that's a good question. Pick-up lines etymology. I actually want to know this too. Hi, Sally. The hip-hop-opotamus. Their rhymes are bottomless. Denmark as a Swede. I can't give my blessing. It's just where the Pokemon event was. If it was in Sweden, I would have gone to Sweden, damn it. You know what I mean? Thank you, mods. Mendak, if you're still listening, consider the fact that you yourself have decided to go on a massive rant and you're typing away and hitting enter with your free will. If you are choosing to call me lame, okay, that's fine. But consider why you don't think you are lame by calling someone else not cool. I cannot be cool and be okay with that. Are you okay with the fact that you spend your free will like this? Mull that one over. Glad she's in one of those lives where they read bullshit tarot cards. I can do that. I have tarot cards somewhere. I got them as a bit of a joke, though. I don't actually know how to read them. You know, if you start calling us comrades, I'm going to quickly devolve into comrades. Yes, I am a Kiwi. You got it, Steve. Tribe, how to explain Tribe Called Quest to a white person? Yeah. A Tribe Called Quest is arguably the most influential jazz-influenced hip-hop group, blending intellectual, laid-back rhymes with soulful sampling to create a positive, Afrocentric alternative to 90s gangster rap. They represent a cornerstone of alternative hip-hop, fostering a welcoming, intellectual vibe, often described as hip-hop for everyone. That sounds awesome, actually. That sounds awesome. Yeah, exactly, Toothbrush. You got it. How to explain... Yeah, that's the one, the irony. It's Free Willy. Gotcha. Hi, Sean. Tweak your fucking eyebrow on him, babe. Fuck. Oh, did I use my eyebrows? Ginger. Prove your kiwi. Is this enough proof that I just casually have a kiwi bird? Or is that just looking like I'm a tourist who went to New Zealand? Hi, Alex. Okay, now that I'm actually caught up with chat. Wait, now that I'm actually caught up with the comrades. Now that I'm caught up with the comrades, we gotta work on this. I always thought the pickup came from the image of a caveman just picking up a woman. That was kind of what I assume as well. Someone who sweeps someone else off their feet, you know? You got a Manu in this stream to prove you're a real Kiwi. This is true as well. Hi, Shroom. Okay, let's see if we can learn something. So we have Skater Boy. We have my fashion disaster. And then we also, Lullaby. Can you give me a wave if you're still here? If not, then that's okay. But I just wanted to use an opportunity to educate. Not you, Kiwi man. Yeah, I need to put I actually I do need to put it up. It's literally right here. Does this prove I'm a New Zealander? I have my national flag. No, you're all right. It doesn't look like Lullaby's here still. Ooh. Again, in what sport? I don't know which sport. That proves it? Hell yeah. Yeah, I feel like the Kiwi plush could be tourism. Like you can get any old plushie. I have several Pokemon ones, but who would get a Kiwi laser flag other than a New Zealander? So yes, my plan basically is just off camera. Can you hear me? I think you can just hear me. I'll try and speak louder. I think off camera, I want to put a like a hook so that it lives here, and then that way, whenever someone questions, there's like a second hook on this side so that I can just hang it up, and that way it's really, really easy to whenever we're feeling patriotic, just chuck it up like that. And then that way it also is just. It can just hang on a hook over here. I feel like that would be a simple way of doing it. Hi, Froggy! Yes, it is cool. It is very, very cool. Leftists have a genuine problem disconnected to reality, and living in fantasy land is delusional and bad for your health. I think that there are a lot of people that are feeling this, and I don't think that labeling every leftist delusional, is necessarily helpful. I don't do politics on this channel, but what I will call out is just recognizing that not every leftist is going to be disconnected, and you can look at it in another regard. If you're thinking of the generalization of lefties, a lot of what they want is very idealistic, and there's nothing wrong with that in a way, but that can lead into the delusions, I suppose. But bad for your health. What is the alternative? This is actually something I've been mulling over the last few days, funnily enough, is when we think about left and right, or Democrat and Republican as it is in America, because it's always about America, I mean, obviously. If everyone were right-wing, let's say, in this regard, that will no longer be democracy. That, like, if everyone had the exact same belief, that is now more leaning towards socialism or communism, is it not? Do we want everyone to have the same line of thinking? That's true, Corey. Do we want to all have the same line of thinking? Because isn't that what's so beautiful about having differing opinions and views, is trying to find a balance on the idealism, maybe of the left, if you want to say, or the values of the right, whatever it is, and bringing that middle ground. That's what it's supposed to be. Otherwise, we're just all gonna have the same thoughts. Is that what we want people to lean towards? Do we want everyone to just have the same thoughts and feelings? It's just something I've been thinking about, because and actually it was because of a stream several weeks ago. So if you guys ever wonder, your words do have impact on me. I ruminate incredibly deeply. My favorite pastime is just thinking. Thinking. And so basically the idea of this binary has come up a lot. This binary of politics, even though it shouldn't be binary, right? And so to completely discount the opposite of what you believe, or just this idea of, well, they're so far gone. Like, well, then how come, let's say, almost 50% of the population are like that? Is everyone so far gone? And what is the alternative if they just all have the same thought? I do agree on what you've said. Where was it? How does it mean that having the same opinions leads to socialism or communism? I will confess that I was making a lot of leaps, so you can call me out on that one for sure. I'm not going to disagree. I think it was quite a leap as well. Okay. What's the usual milk source in New Zealand? It's cow, definitely cow. They have a lot of cows. New Zealand's agricultural industry is one of, if not the largest, in their economy. Other than maybe tourism, perhaps. Where are we? Okay, here we go. You have a lovely night. Thank you, Steve. We'll see you next time. If you're not a liberal when you're young and you have no heart, you have no heart. And if you're not a conservative when you're old, you have no money. I know that was not. I thought you were copy pasting the quote that I've heard before, but I've not heard the end being "you have no money." But yes, I completely agree. Everyone does run to their tribe for sure. For sure. I missed what the typo was as well. Thank you, kindness. Thank you. Introspective. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. I think Clem live streams because she likes to think with other people. I do. I'm a very, very vocal thinker, and I know that it doesn't necessarily help for me to come to, well, I like to come to my own conclusions, but I like having access to a lot of opinions so that I can get a balance, I suppose, and come out the other end. Rumination is part of self-improvement. If you don't, you are just taking information blindly and just a victim of noise. And so that's, I guess, why I bring it up, is because I feel like a lot of people will parrot what they've heard online without that extra thought of like, why do we think that the left is delusional? I'm not saying they're not either. I don't want that. but what does that achieve by having that commentary, you know? If you're overthinking and nonstop thinking we were an Olympic sport, I'd be the champ. Well, I would certainly try to give you a run for your money, but I suppose that people need to be able to have competition to make it an Olympic sport. Hi, Alex. Rumination is how cows turn tough grass into farts, exactly, through their 4 stomachs. As long as they don't start exporting liberals like you. What does that mean? Who are they? Who's they? She doesn't drink kiwi milk. She's not from New Zealand. You got me. Just because you're anti-left doesn't mean you're far right. Australians are tired of the left's ideology because massive drops of living standards. Democracy has both left and right to birth a centrist. And so this is the thing, is if they have left and right, and you're trying to get around that centrist to have the political party, etc. I don't think we can. The thing is, I recognize I'm not very good at exaggerations and generalizations, because I'm like, I find it really difficult to just say, oh, all of the whichever side is like this, because obviously it's not like that. Not every single leftist is delusional. Not every single person on the right is ultra conservative. And with that logic alone, it shows me that I can't generalize, and that makes me wonder why people have those values on this side versus that side, and that is how you become a centrist. I don't think you can be a centrist by discounting an entire group of people. And on top of that, something I want to look into, which I haven't done, maybe we can do this together, is how we settled on the terms left and right. Where did that come from? So many people will toss out these words without actually understanding the root of them. Why do we call people on the left, left? Why do we call people on the right, right? Where does this come from? Is it from parliament? Is it from seats in government? I do not know. And so until I have the knowledge of this, I just kind of discount using these terms. Happy Baby Mama Day. Hi, Miss Geezy. Hi, Pages. You're charismatic. I like to think so. Do you find yourself engaging with a smaller pool of people because of your charisma, finding that charisma has an ironic, isolating consequence? I have a very, very small friendship group. So I don't put that on my charisma, though. I put that on a lot of other issues. Not that charisma is an issue, but my small pool of friends is, I don't think, because of my charisma. I will agree with you that I have a small circle, a small social circle, and I am more than happy for you to make your assessment and on the situation. Vocal thinking, I'm sure there's a common way to say it, just thinking out loud, brain talking out loud, speak. What is it? What's the one? Today, there's type of voters. They're those voting by personal ideology, no matter personal situation, those voting at what will benefit themselves in their own situation, and those that are uninformed and fooled by social media to vote a certain way. And not just social media, because otherwise we, that's been happening for decades, hundreds of years even. And so there are plenty of people who are uninformed. And it's not just social media. We just have that in spades now. There are a lot of people that you kind of look at and you go, ah. So this is the average voter, huh? Yep, that makes sense why we are where we are. Gedanken laut werden, a German term used in psychology for the experience of hearing one's own thoughts spoken aloud. That's me! That's me! Name a rightish policy you support. Ooh, honestly, I don't really know a lot of policies. I feel like from my limited knowledge of politics, that a lot of the right seems to be more about taxing and benefiting your own pocket. So I would have to look into it more, because I can, by my own admission, recognize that a lot of what we are told right and conservatives believe in are to do with family values, which I would support, but I don't know what that means. Like, what policies are in place to benefit family values? Religion, I'm not religious. And then helping your own pocket. So I don't know. Whereas I know that left, for example, they often will have social rights more on the left. But if I take out some of those more conservative things that were mentioned, I don't know what is a constantly touted right-leaning policy that gets brought up a lot, like a generalization, something that the right constantly fights for. And I will be very open at admitting that because I recognize how much is being told to me rather than me actually going through and reading the policies. And a lot of it is American as well, which I can't even vote in. And so it's hard for me to see the consistency. But I am open to learning. If you guys want to tell me what you guys think are right-leaning policies, then that would be great. I can learn from you guys, as you know I like to do. I can have individual thoughts and feelings about separate issues. For sure. Do you believe in love at first sight, or should I walk by again? Well, first of all, I can't see you, so you should probably just actually walk and in front of me, and then we can test this theory, you know? Then we can go for it. But falling in love for a username, I don't believe in that. I can tell you that much. By mastering one's own chosen way and understanding it fully, one can exist in the modern world without remaining true to a personal, uncompromising path, ultimately becoming more in accord with their own... ... I thought there was going to be more to that. Okay. G'day, Clunts. I like that. What's up, Clunts? Now we're on to something, Canaro. Finally, something we can agree on. Your streams have gotten better. Thank you, Ad, I think. Why is the guy still behind you? I just kind of accept it now. What's right to do versus what's left to do? Ah, Andre, thank you so much. If only I had thought about that sooner. Left-handed people are weird and right-handed people are normies. That's where it comes from. Is that what it is? I don't think so. It was during the French Revolution, the monarchists sat on the right and the revolutionists on the left. I knew it had something to do with seats. Thank you, Ian. So now we have the monarchists sat on the right and the revolutionists on the left. And so by assumption, you could assume that the left, as in the revolutionists, are looking for social benefits. The right would be looking more for the monarchy. So this is where my understanding and I guess my frustration with terms using left and right are, because maybe this is a hot take. I feel like they're really meaningless. I really do. I don't find that it is helpful for any political discourse whatsoever. I think that do I have just this idea of thinking too much of the individual? I think that you can have values that aren't all from one political party. You can disagree with, you can vote for a political party and disagree with the things that are in there, but I'm still understanding why people use the terms left and right for them. And at least Ian has given me a glimpse of where that has come from. Some people either check social media or what they're talking for itself for the day. What do you think of the incident? I don't know what this one is. Sorry, Mouse. So I do not think about it. You have to either be more detailed or ask me to look it up. Definition of the terms left and right seem to be swapped often. Exactly. I'm confident that 99% of young people are left, but as they age, turn to the right. Yes, I've heard of this phenomena as well, because young people, you know, they have these ideals. They want everyone to have, like, I'd say universal basic income would be something that would be more left-leaning. And then as you age, you recognize how difficult it is to actually achieve that. And so it might be looking at other policies. The groom side, the groomers, oops. We're not talking about the UAP files at the moment, Raj. The left-right scale is mainly based on economics, and you're in favor of the government being in charge of certain things like healthcare, education, or if you think it's companies in charge of healthcare, of schools. Yeah, well, I guess I would be left in that case. It's from the French Revolution, duh, as if you do not know that. Idiot. Let me retort on the two-party system. Which one will you endure? When you cast a vote in two-party system, that's when you lose for sure. Oof. Oof. Yeah, see, the anti-abortion is more religious, and so that's why I thought if you take that out of there, and that's what I mean by, like, family values, I suppose, if you want to call it that. But I'm trying to think of other right-ish policies that aren't to do with religion, because I think that anti-abortion, not always, but often comes with a lot of religion. And Ninja, I think you can agree with that yourself. I ordered 2 White Claws. Enjoy. I haven't trusted myself since. Never mind. You can rest assured that anything that comes out of a president's mouth is complete horseshit. Any particular subject? Yeah, we're talking about where the origin of left and right came from. From Australian government, to be very general, 30 years ago, it was Liberals, focus on building economic strength, and Labor, focus on social structure and support. Today, the lines are very blurred. I probably assume that they've always been very blurred, personally. But yeah, the economic strength is what I was thinking. But this is what I meant, is I recognize that the right, or Liberals in Australia, like that, it often is about economics. I even said that about taxing, for example. But you've put it much better, so I will use the term economic in the future. But, like, okay, what are the policies around the economy? And I guess that's why I mentioned taxing, because it's that's where I guess it falls on a lot of the individual of, but I'm still learning. Leftists outspread the wealth through communism. Why do you use the word communism specifically? Well, the right is about wealth through catalyst-free market, you're saying. One system created massive increases in health and life expectancy, and the other causes, I'm sure that we'll have a follow-up soon. The Republican elephant and Democratic donkey originated from 19th century political cartoons. Insults rather than official party choices. That doesn't surprise me. I feel like a lot of cartoons do this. Thomas Nast is credited with popularizing the elephant for Republicans to represent the Republican vote, while the donkey was linked to the Democrat Andrew Jackson. After being called a jackass, that's very funny with their name as well. When I was in middle school, Clementine's parents took everyone from my class to a cool island to meet the billionaires of the world. Good memories. I'm glad you had a good time. It's kind of crazy that even my parents had those connections. Hey. It makes it feel like Andre thinks I'm really, really wealthy and what's the word? Not a celebrity. Connected, I suppose. The Republican Party is far from conservative. They are more for government control than anyone these days. That's an interesting take. I'm not going to agree or disagree. I just think it's one I've not heard before. Team Prince or Team MJ? I grew up with MJ, so I guess I'd have to go for MJ, regardless of what people think of him. Two-party system isn't working anymore, as the differences between the parties is barely discernible to make a difference. Now they essentially are just having popularity contests, and that I completely agree with. Yeah, and exactly right, Kiwi Man. I'm not here to discuss how people think about abortions. The question was, what are right policies? And I mentioned that I know some of them seem to lean more religious in Christian countries as well. So I think Australia and America are good examples of that, where there do seem to be a lot more of this religious connotation. And I also acknowledge that what one feels about abortions isn't always linked to their religion, but I'm looking at other policies. If I dingle my dongle, does that mean I've bingled my bongle? No, not quite, but I can see the confusion. Hi, Full Truth. In the day of Bob Hawke and Little Johnny Howard, the differences were very noticeable. Oh, there we go. Okay. I am Ginger indeed. I need your blessing. Blessings be with you. Last 10 years, the globalists have destroyed many countries' economies in order to push the, what is WEFNWO? I don't know this one. I don't know what these acronyms are. But I think we will move on shortly. I will lose that fight, so it's all yours, I guess. If you can get all your way over here, then you just deserve it at that point. The World Economic Forum is WEF, a Swiss non-profit focused on public-private cooperation to shape global, regional, and industry agendas. The New World Order is NWO. That makes sense. Commonly reference term for changing global power dynamics. Okay. I guess that is a nice thing. So the globalists have destroyed many countries' economies in order to push this. I could see where that correlation comes from, the abbreviation, I suppose, but I wouldn't know enough about it to agree or disagree. In New Zealand and most other democratic countries, we have things like MMP, which can structure allow smaller parties to gain representation. Exactly. And so the thing is that whenever politics come up, and this is why I don't really discuss politics, is that we have too large of an American audience. And so it always comes down to American politics, which are completely different. Well, I shouldn't say completely different because it's not completely different, but there are a lot of differences in how they are structured. And so it becomes kind of irrelevant for me to talk about because I'm not American and Americans will be talking about America, and it just is a losing game in that regard. But that is why I do engage in things like, okay, well, what does left and right mean? Because that kind of stuff is in any country that has a two-party system. We currently have a coalition, indeed. I think it's more democratic in that regard as well, for sure. For sure. You still look as elegant as ever. Thank you, Eddie. Much appreciated. What's up, Brent? How you going? I hope you heal from the things you never talk about it. Thank you, Ben. Yes, cheers, Drew. Bob Hawke, for instance, so this is in Australia, for those who don't know the name. He was a workers' prime minister. When Australia won the America's Cup, he literally stated on camera during the celebration, "Any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up today is a bum." That's adorable. I am a nerd. You got it. Will there be a cooking stream? Not anytime soon, but I have thought about that it could be kind of nice to do one. There's never a party that I agree with you on all questions. Exactly. I vote for the left party in Sweden, but I don't agree with their anti-nuclear stance, as I think we should focus on nuclear at the moment to phase out fossil fuels. There we go. But we should still develop better green energy solutions to later on replace nuclear. And that's exactly it. And that's how I look at politics for sure, is that recognizing that there are things that one can disagree and agree with in any party. Even the party that you didn't vote for can do some good things even, but it is where their focuses are and where they want the direction of the country to be heading. I also know that in politics, a lot of parties seem to think very narrow-mindedly. Maybe in the Nordics, it could be a little bit different. So feel free to weigh in that regard, because a lot of Scandinavian countries are touted as being really next level in terms of how they run their countries. But I've lost my train of thought. The idea of I've lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. But basically, recognizing that you can like things and dislike things in whichever policy it is, and try. Oh, that's right. I remember now. So basically, there is a lot of short-term thinking. So, for example, in New Zealand, we have elections every 3 years. I think that's too short, because basically the first year you're trying to settle into the government, the second year you're trying to push policies, the third year is you're campaigning for your next election. And so there is this short-term issues, and no one is thinking like 10, 20, several generations ahead. And so I think that a lot of the time when a new party comes in as well, that a lot of what they end up doing is unraveling the things that the previous party did, rather than accepting those as that party was voted in during this period. We shall continue with the direction that they were going, rather than completely dismantle it, and also now focus on new issues. And so that was the point I had lost, that I've now found again, is this idea of working together as a country for many generations, rather than working against the parties. And it is just really sad that that's kind of where things have gone to. You can see that in the spillover effect on the voters as well, where even that's how we got onto this conversation right now, is there's such an us versus them mentality, rather than this idea of being a united country, a united tribe, like, and this advancement of the country over time, not just in a short-term effect, and not just as a hate campaign to be like, fuck choose your party that you want to flip the bird to, and rather than acknowledging that these are things that were voted in democratically and should be moved forward, and then you can vote in new things, and then those are the things that focus on. It just that's the kind of stuff that makes me sad in politics, not the anger over the disagreement of someone else. It is the anger over not working together for the advancement for newer generations. Oh, I dropped it. Oh, God. Are you guys still there? Hello? I dropped my mouse. Hello? I think you're still there. Looks like you're still there. Okay, that's good. We're still there. Okay, thank goodness. Hello, 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 hello. Good morning. Hi. Aussie chicks are so entitled. I know, right? I lived there for 10 years and I thought the exact same thing, Daniel. Good morning from England. Good morning. Good morning, Liam. Yeah, I totally agree, Bang Daniel. That's exactly how I felt. Fuck the Australians. Do you know what is also entitled? Making assumptions on people's countries and where they're from. Good morning from Holland. Ah, hello, hello. I can't put my headphones on yet without waking the cat who has fallen asleep. If I wake him, I will have to get up to feed him. Oh, that is a conundrum indeed. Nuclear fuel is expensive to get going, but well worth it in the long run. Yes, I know a lot of people feel this as well. Your mind is fascinating. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Australian politics is all fiction, performance, smoke and mirrors. Good thing that I'm not Australian and can't talk about it. How do you feel about American? Where are you from, Daniel, actually? That's probably the better question. Whereabouts are you from? Because I'm not from Australia. Conflicting ideals, the years till the next election's absolute waste. 2 parties, total power goes to the winning party. That's true democracy, you reckon? I feel like it is dismissive of the diversity of thought of a country because we're meant to elect our officials to be able to be reflections of us, right? And so I think that if you have one party with absolute control, then that in itself shows a lack of representation, I suppose, of the people. Yes, they can be the ones to create policies by being in power. I think someone earlier said that it's rare that there would be someone who stays in power long term. It does swap eventually. But this is the first time I've been thinking about that, Drew. It's not something that I've been thinking about it, so I'm just initial thoughts. I don't have more to add because I have to ruminate on it more. Why are you so worried about politics? Well, politics comes up. That's the thing, is I don't think that we can escape politics. Anyone who is like, oh, I hate talking about politics, you cannot escape it. Politics are our life, basically. And especially if you are having conversations, everything eventually ends up in these kinds of things anyway. I try to not make it about current politics and more just the structure, I suppose, and those kinds of things of like, how have we gotten here rather than what is going on, if that makes sense. But point being that politics does make people worried or mad because fundamentally there's always something wrong that is happening. You can have your party win and they're not doing enough, they're not doing a good enough job. Like there's always an issue when it comes to politics, and that is why it can make people very negative. So I wouldn't say I'm worried about it. It's just people like to bring it up, I suppose. And I like to engage. I'm scared of the UK IP of Sweden getting into the government after the election in September. If they do, I'll be moving to Norway or Finland. And that is so bold to say as a Swede. If you're willing to move to Norway or Finland, that shows a massive, massive shift. Oh, goodness gracious, Magpie. New Zealand and the Nordic countries are consistently ranked together in the top tier of global indices for quality of life, democracy, low corruption, and high happiness. They share similar democratic values, strong social welfare systems, and commitment to international security. New Zealand actually has an election this year as well, so I need to brush up on some of my New Zealand policies. Hello, Andy. How you going? Problem with introducing nuclear technology is fusion technology, okay? It has been proved as viable and is maybe 15 to 20 years away from being able to be upscaled for large-scale production. There we go. And building a new nuclear plant can take 20 to 30 years. Gotcha. Ardern was taking away New Zealand citizens' freedoms as per these instructions. Oh, so you're talking about the mask mandates and whatnot, and the closing off of the country. So you're talking about Ardern in particular. You know what? I'm not going to go into this. Like I said, I don't really engage in the exact politics or the current events, because it can devolve and divulge into areas that that I don't do on this channel. I like to look more about the etymology and the structure and objective views, I guess. Young Aussies have been brainwashed to believe they must have an opinion on politics. I actually think that they do, because it is mandatory and compulsory to vote in Australia. So, first of all, Daniel, I have several times said I'm not Australian, and yet you continue to talk about Australia. So I don't know what personal vendetta you have against it. I don't know where you're from, if you're from Australia or from somewhere else. I don't know why you have such strong opinions on it. But what I will say on that point alone is that Australia is one of the few countries where voting is compulsory, and because of that, of course, every single Australian has an opinion, because they literally have to vote. I am pro-compulsory voting myself, but that is a whole nother conversation. Behind the scenes, political parties don't solve any problems. They just delay the problem. Yeah, and they unravel what the previous party did, and then by the time they've unraveled that, they have to campaign again, and then it's just nothing helps. I'm Sulfur Cube. Hi. Sulfur Cube. That feels like it's supposed to be a gotcha, but I can't hear it. Thoughts about Jacinda and how she helped new generations? We call her Auntie Cindy. I think she's a cutie. In terms of how she helped new generations, that's starting to get into the area where it's some more subjective, and I'm not going to engage in that kind of politics today. I want to play some games. Issa Serve, by the way, I wanted to just come back to. I see that you're here still. I wanted to come back to the fact that someone was talking about asexuality in a way that was clearly misinformed, and I hope that you are okay. It was something that I tried to bring up later on, but they had already left the forum. But basically, I just wanted to make sure that you're okay, and just know that I'm hoping that you understand that they were just misinformed rather than necessarily nasty. But it probably still wouldn't have been easy to hear regardless. Yeah, cool. So, cool. It was something that I was like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to educate this person, but it had moved on too long as anyhow. Thank you. I am a Kiwi. Hi, Alpaca! Oh my gosh, yeah, political chat can be tiring, exactly. Yeah, exactly, see, Mama. That's why I'm trying to not engage too much further. I'm trying to wrap it up as well. But I know that it is rough. I'm Australian British. Okay, there we go. So I think in other regards, I'd probably ask how you feel about UK, but I'm trying to wrap up the political talk because I know, like Alpaca says, it can be very tiring. It is something that I am very, like, I have the stamina for, but I am conscious of others. And so there's a balance, I suppose, for me of being the streamer that I'm like, I can direct things to the area that I want to. I'm incredibly engaged in this kind of stuff. I want to keep talking about it, but I am also aware of not subjecting other people to that that kind of chat, and we've already engaged in it for like an hour maybe, and so it can get very tiring for a lot of people, and that's why I'm not so it's not that you guys are that I'm trying to be dismissive, it's that I'm actually trying to not be dismissive by for other people. Political parties does not work for people, but it works for votes, you think? Yeah, our whole system is very needing in a shape up, but I don't know what that looks like. I didn't study politics. Politics is Latin for smoke and mirrors. If voting changed anything, they wouldn't let us do it. If voting changed anything, they wouldn't let us do it. That's an interesting take.
not one that I necessarily agree with, but I'm just trying to understand where that word actually comes from. So do you think voting is doesn't achieve anything, basically? And so what's the point in it? And so if you don't think it achieves anything, what's the point in calling lefts versus rights? Do you vote yourself or do you not vote? Yeah, I guess that's where the thought has come from, Brooch. Do you vote? Yeah, I needed to look up in my brain. Every time I see you, my mind says it's AI. Well, I'm pretty good at recreating it every single time I go live, I suppose. What's your Greg's order? I don't go to Greg's. I went there one time when I was visiting UK last year before I moved here, because I was told to get a vegan sausage, and that's the only time I've ever gone to Greg's. So I got a vegan sausage and I've never been back. To me, each UK political party seems to have the same range of opinions amongst its members as it does the general public. The left is a mix of left and right and vice versa, so no one wins, you say. But I feel like that at least helps with some diversity. But like I said earlier today, I know nothing about British politics. New Zealand, Australia, same. You do realize Australia has a massive community of Indigenous people as well, right? If you yourself are Australian British, you should know that New Zealand, Australia are not same. Copying nonsense from Wikipedia. Politics is unavoidable unless you choose to be ignorant. Exactly. And so I think that is why I engage as well. I'm trying to learn more. What's important is being able to talk about politics without arriving at violence and name calling. And that is where it often gets to, right? I'm a technology trainer for AI in medicine, and you're going to get AI doctors pretty soon. I don't disagree. I think that we're already seeing robotics, so it makes sense, right? Well, first of all, you're spelling this incorrectly. They're Maori, Maori. Maui was a demigod. But if you think that Australia and New Zealand should be combined, then I, even as a New Zealand, don't necessarily disagree. It's funny when you're young and liberal, when you get shit to lose, you become more conservative. That's what everyone says, exactly right. But there are plenty of people who are wealthy and still more liberal. Fun New Zealand politics fact, the biscuit tin is a unique New Zealand parliament tradition where members' bills are randomly selected for debate. A worn metal tin used since the early 90s holds numbered tokens representing proposed laws from non-ministerial MPs, ensuring every legislator has a chance to advance their legislation. That is cute. I actually didn't know that. I think that we should have diversity, of course, with our, that's why we do have diversity and Maori politicians in New Zealand, because it is good to have that representation. But to say that there should be, like, we've already had that issue historically of having one predominant race or ethnicity running the countries, and in this case it's usually Caucasian. That doesn't really work, so it's just about diversity, so it's just as simple as that. Still have an awful sleep score. I was late to stream today, Zombie, because I had an awful sleep score the last few nights, so I completely understand. They have to vote, but it doesn't have to count. Exactly right. Yeah, donkey votes. But I still think that's fine. Yeah, Jesus. I'm glad that you guys have picked up about the Maui versus Maori. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Definitely pro-compulsory vote, says Ian. Where did this go? Oh gosh, where did this go? But there should be an option for none of the above, which there is. So Ian, basically when you're registered to vote, you have to vote, but you don't have to, like, you have to go to the voting polls, but you can what's called donkey vote, where you don't tick anything. And so that is the equivalent of not voting, where it's kind of abstaining, but it is like a conscious abstaining. So for example, a lot of politicians, they try to capitalize on the non-voters. So people who forget to vote, people who just can't be bothered voting, and so on and so forth. And so that's where you'll see campaigns of people trying to get the young vote, for example. I am truly a believer, and I don't think this is controversial whatsoever, that Jacinda Ardern was able to get into politics because you saw a massive young voter turnout in a way that you hadn't seen in a long time.
that is just documented. There was a massive increase of young voter turnout when she got into parliament, or just before, which we hadn't seen previously. And so that is an example of appealing to the people who are not necessarily voting to try and get them to go and vote. Whereas for compulsory voting, you have to go to the polling booths, let's say. I'm trying to make this in very simple terms. I know it's nuanced, but you have to go to the polling booth. That's what compulsory voting means, rather than that you have to vote for a party. Hopefully that's more clear now. Because a lot of the time, if it's not compulsory, then people just won't go whatsoever. But in Australia and other compulsory areas, I'm sure that you still have to go and vote, but your vote can be to not vote. Hopefully that makes sense. I do need an editor. I completely agree. I'm not currently speaking Te Reo Māori, but I can say a few words here and there. My brain hurts, I know, right? Yeah, go do your thing. And that's the thing. I definitely agree with not all Americans are pompous asses. I completely agree. I'm not South African, but I'm a New Zealander. 21 Gun, good to have you back here. Kia ora, J-Joy, good to have you back here. My first girlfriend is asexual. She was awesome. Hell yeah, I love that. Yeah, Pākehā, if that's what the word you were saying. By responding to your query, I may be lending your comment a legitimacy it doesn't actually deserve. That's very cheeky. Very, very cheeky. Respect Kiwi, hell yeah. Aussie government voting system is so stupid, in my opinion, was ever since John Howard was voted out of being Prime Minister. Fair enough. I feel like I've already talked about what I like about it, so. Asexuality is not something... Similar to homosexuality, the people don't necessarily choose their orientation. What should be encouraged is people understanding what their orientation is, being allowed that freedom of expression. The reality is that the asexual population is incredibly small. Just because people are aware of asexuality isn't going to now all of a sudden turn everyone asexual. It is just recognizing that those who are asexual can understand what their orientation is, and therefore not feel pressured into following a system or a sexuality that is not theirs. And so just because people like you know that gay people exist, that doesn't mean that you're now going to be gay. And asexuality is very similar in that regard as well. Just because you know about asexuality doesn't, like, you yourself know about asexuality, that does not mean that you are now asexual. But for someone who might not be as interested in sexual or physical intimacy, or even romantic, can now go, oh, is that what I'm experiencing? So no, it is not going to collapse society because people are all of a sudden going to stop breeding. Otherwise, that would have happened already. So yes, we shall encourage those who recognize they're asexual to be asexual and be able to communicate that rather than engaging in things that they don't want to engage in. But it's not going to make everyone else asexual. That's not how it works. What's the repercussion if you don't vote? Nothing. In Sweden, everyone get their voting card by post, and you can vote early if you want to. When voting, you show up with your voting card and ID. I believe it's similar in Australia, but I can't vote in Australia, so you have to ask the Aussies on that one. Okay. People can't really be educated. They believe what they want to believe. I don't fully agree with that. I think that we do have some pretty bad education systems, but I do agree that there are some people who are incredibly stubborn, and that's really sad. My state Supreme Court just overturned something that the state voted for, so I get where he comes from. Ooh, yeah. That's the thing, is I actually do understand where they're coming from as well, for exactly reasons like that, where it's like, well, why did I bother voting if they're just going to unravel what happened? Yeah. So that's why I took the time to think about it. You're so right, Furfur. Voting is literally the thing that separates serfs and peasants from peacefully coexisting to literally become landowners and royals to death. I don't know what these words are, so I won't be able to engage in that one. I'm still trying to wrap up anyway. Voting gives an illusion of choice. I know a lot of people have this mentality as well. I'm using a Shure MV7 as my mic. Okay. A long time ago, men shaped the world regardless if you agree how. Yeah, and look how that turned out. It's great to be informed. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. See you later, Froggy. You believe that the British Empire, something. Thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, raiders. Hi, Pods Guy. How was your stream? We're just talking a little bit about politics. And then we're going to play some Oblivion. So I'm basically just trying to catch up with chat, and then we're going to move on. That's why I'm not actually responding to a lot of the messages as well. I'm just catching up with them and then going, okay, gotcha. Move on after that. Stop, alpaca. I would have to study politics first. I definitely want to learn more about it. But I suppose there are a lot of politicians who didn't study politics, hey? Okay, so Daniel thinks that British Empire will forever be the most powerful and prosperous empire. Well, sucks for them that it's no longer a thing, I suppose. I don't think that there's any point in harping on something that has been dissolved, I suppose. We got to look to the future rather than go, yeah, that was a grand old time. Well, we don't live in that time. If that's the time that you wanted to live in, doesn't matter because you don't. And the French Revolution troop. We have moved on. Brainwashing is easy. People nowadays become so lazy they don't even cross-check the information. Yes, I absolutely agree. And so that's why whenever someone tells me something, I'll say, I'll take your word for it, but I won't necessarily take it until I've looked it up myself. And that is honestly why, if you actually come back to how we got onto politics today, it was me talking about the etymology of left and right. That is how deep in the source I go, is that I recognize how many of these words we just use so, well, liberally, without necessarily understanding where that's come from. And so I recognize that I like to think I try to check the sources and not take everything at face value, because people are just telling us left, right, liberal, whatever, conservative, commies, like all of these words are just thrown out, and I like to just go back to the very beginning. A lot of emotional feelings towards things come from confusion, and so I try to not be so confused, because I know that that's when I get affected. How much of this live streaming is an experiment? Seeing you are charismatic, has a stream increased your charismatic prowess? Yes, absolutely. When I started live streaming, I started live streaming 5 years ago. It definitely helped me become more charismatic, not necessarily because it built my charisma skills, but it built my confidence on who I am. I hope I haven't been using it as a manipulation skill though. I don't like to think that that is the core of my personality. It might have happened incidentally, but definitely I would hope not intentionally. New Zealand shouldn't connect with Australia. Both countries have interesting history. It should stay that way. Oh, that's a nice way of looking at it. Peeps who oppress other peeps become stupid and brutal enough to enrage everyone around them. Okay. They can put chips in us and make the fish gay. It's true. It's true. Okay, New Zealand should belong to the Dutch. Screw the UK and their joke country. Yeah, I like this. I like this, Drake God. But I guess the Dutch explorers chose not to settle down there. Okay. You into collecting? Yes, I like collecting Pokemon plushies. I've got a Sony A7 III in answer to the camera question. Oh, thank you, Zombie Cat. I really appreciate the compliment there. Depends on how hot the gay people are. Yeah, at least someone is able to say the truth. I was so disappointed a few years ago. A lot of people's reaction to Maori politician have a Maori chin tattoo. What the heck? Them just talking about her looks and not into politics. Exactly. And that's the thing, is if you look at that from a tattoo, a cultural tattoo, there it is what happens with a lot of women in general. There are a lot of women politicians that it's like, oh, well, she looked really tired today. It's like, okay, but did you hear what she was saying? I don't know what "ruh" means, no. I am not asexual, no. Okay, we have recording of it throughout history, not just with the same words. Yes, but this is the thing: is we have this recording, but a lot of people don't even look at the history. You know, South America is politically industrial because they recognize there's no actual left besides a wasteland, anarchy, and hatred towards nepotism and authority. Damn, all right. I look stressed for the question. I am under 32. You got it. You got it. Gay people are real? What? Where do you think expats should vote? Original country or country of residence? As an expat, I don't think that I think if you're a permanent resident, you should be allowed to vote. I don't think that you should vote necessarily. I don't know. It's complex. So my dad is a permanent resident. He's allowed to vote in New Zealand. He's not allowed to vote in Germany, even though he is a German citizen. And that is because he's not currently living in Germany. My dad hasn't lived in Germany for 30 years. And so I completely agree with the idea that why should someone who doesn't even live in the country vote on the direction of where that country is going? However, a permanent resident, like my dad in New Zealand, has lived in New Zealand for 30 years. Of course, he would want to influence with his vote on how the country should be running, because that does impact his place of residence. But then you can also say that you want to make sure that you have a country that you can go back to. But I suppose if you get deported, you would go back to the country and then all of a sudden you can vote again. So I think that as an expat, I don't think that I haven't lived in New Zealand for 12 years. 12 years? Oh my God. Yeah, I haven't lived in New Zealand for 12 years. I completely understand if New Zealand wouldn't want me to have an influence on their vote. I get it. That's kind of the quick notes there. If the Netherlands is, if you don't vote, you lose your right to stuff at the government for 4 years. Damn, okay. Evolutionary homophobia doesn't even make sense. Hetero people should love homosexuals as they're no threat to them. Exactly! That's such a good way of looking at it. It's like, especially if you think about a lot of gay men in particular, right? Because we are going to go through this masculine thing. I'm just going to indulge in this as a bit of a silly thing. But gay men often will be very conscious of their appearance because they're trying to, like, they are attracted to men. They're trying to get other men who hopefully would be attracted to them. So they're, trying to make themselves look good. They might work out. So there are a lot of very attractive gay men. And so thank goodness for the hetero men that they're not in the pool, because the other thing is that the amount of women who love hanging around their gay bestie, like, that is a stereotype for a reason, right? Oh gosh, the straight men are lucky that the gay men are not in the breeding pool, as they say. So yes, I like this take. I like this take a lot. What do I think should be promoted is acceptance. Exactly. So acceptance of the choice to have kids if you're non-binary. In today's social and medical advancements, the simplistic belief that you need to be in a binary relationship in order to have children is so archaic. Yep. And it also, I think that a lot of these things are very dismissive of adoption, for example. The beautiful thing about a lot of these these dynamics is that say a gay couple, maybe a little bit different with lesbian couples. Sometimes lesbian mothers will have sperm donors, but with a couple who have two cis men who are not able to have a pregnancy amongst them, they are basically having, if they want to have a family, if they want to have children, they need to go the adoption route, essentially. And there are so many orphaned kids, and adoption is something that a lot of people don't look at when it comes to family values and LGBT and abortions and all these kinds of things. A lot of the people who a lot of the kids, because there are so many people who are pro kids, like pro life, and a lot of these kids end up in orphanages, and it's just not something that a lot of people talk about. ISIS are not going to collapse society. I don't know, man. Get me enough funding, I'll give it a go. King Charles will do a Putin and want to restore the old empire, not at his age. But let's see where when he becomes King William, where he goes, Stream was good but long. Well, thank you for rating on in, Pods Guy. I need to head to bed. Oh, sorry. Yeah, good. Thank you. It's so good to see you, Pods Guy. I hope you're getting some rest. I have seen some of the alien documents, but I've also already seen the like chandelier lighting completely disproven. So it is not very exciting once you learn that. Brainwashing is difficult. First, you've got to get it out, then work out which detergent to use. You would hate to use the wrong one, you know. I own a flashlight that can burn me. Oh my god. But yeah, summoning the sun for sure. Crazy how America helps build back all the shit they blew up. See you later, Daniel. We'll see you next time, probably. Have Snorlax. Where is Snorlax? Smooth out. Yes, Snorlax is looking very good. He's downstairs on the couch, actually. He is looking nice and plump. He's been eating good, and he is looking like a happy plush again. Elder Scrolls awaits a cat with very strong punching power. I've actually been using a sword recently. Oh, Class. I like Class. Hey, Class, what do you think? I was actually, you know, when I had the username xclementine_, I was looking at alternatives and I was thinking of doing Ms. Clementine as a bit of a teacher vibe, but I felt unqualified because, well, I am. However, I like the idea of Class. Class, hey Class, what do you think? I'm gonna play around with that one. I don't mind it. I think it works well. I don't mind it at all. Yeah, I'll play around with it. Class, what do you think? Put your hand up if you like Class. Go to the principal's office. Yes, exactly right. And then the mods are like hall monitors, and you guys gotta go to the principal's office. Yes, I like it. I like it. This is next level AI. Thank you. It is very impressive, is it not? Okay, you found pants again for now. I think we're almost caught up. Hello from Australia. G'day, David. Don't know why, but I think infant adoption should be illegal. Interesting. Well, you'll have to mull that one over. Like you said, you don't know why, so I'm not going to engage in in that argument because you yourself have to mull over where that's coming from. Maybe it's coming from this idea that the children shouldn't be in that position in the first place. But I suppose people do get orphaned for very unfortunate reasons as well. So I guess that's so instead of saying yes or no against this thought, I think that's where I would let you yourself mull over it is in situations where, say, a child, their parents have passed away and they don't have a legal guardian to take over their care, what happens to the child? And I think from there is where you could probably figure out where your thoughts are. And I'm not going to tell you which way your thoughts should be, but I think that would be the question I would ask if I was mulling it over myself. Hopefully that helps. In my teens, I used to straighten my hair and dye it. Guys would call me gay, but I think that was sus because I wasn't doing it for them. Also, I don't know how old you are, B-Dog, but my generation grew up with the emo phase. Pretty much every guy was doing that. Like, there was a whole movement, goddamn. I don't know if you were in that phase, but you know. If you had to choose multiplayer games or single-player games, which you do choose single-player. I'm not a multiplayer gamer whatsoever. Yeah, you guys can call me Miss, exactly. Your hair is cute. Thank you, Barry. Working class or middle class? We're still figuring it out. Hi, Matt. This AI, yes, absolutely. If we go with the class theme, Reacts turns into a show and tell. Show and tell, yes, especially as people who are submitting them. This is developing. I can't believe we hadn't thought about this sooner. Yeah, I'm an android, not AI. Thank you for the correction. Depends which YouTube channel which YouTube live stream you're on, Dirty Dan. The horizontal one doesn't have as much chat, but the vertical one does. Hey, I know Jace. Oh my gosh, Matt. What a compliment. Yes, Jace is from Australia. I have DMs with Jace. I actually haven't messaged her in a while. So that's so funny. I'll have to let her know that I got compared. So that's awesome. Yeah, she plays a lot of games. That's so cute.
No, I will not be dyeing my hair. I like my hair. But yes, I am very, very familiar with Jace. Jace on Twitch, Jace on YouTube. We've known each other for a while. I watched her in her journey to get partner on Twitch. Is awesome, and she's absolutely killing it now. I think that for a while she was on Twitch. She was kind of teetering the line for partner, and as soon as a lot of people like myself, as an example, as soon as they hit that partner tick on Twitch, the viewership actually decreases, and then you have to build it up again. But as soon as Jace hit it, oh, she like skyrocketed. She's there's just no ceiling for her at the moment. She's just really, really doing very well for herself by the looks of it, which is really cool to see. I'm on a Sony A7 III in answer to that question, Gringo. And thank you for the follows, guys. Hopefully that was good. She is gay. It's true. She is gay indeed. As in me. Legitimacy, the comment doesn't necessarily deserve. It's also true. Thoughts on dating men who work in construction? Big thumbs up. Big thumbs up. I have no issues with as long as the guy is a nice guy, because I know that there can be some stereotypes of guys in constructions being not so nice, but there are plenty who are nice, and it's a great skill to have. I think that I have no issues with dating a laborer, and especially because they can help out with things around the house. So it's great. It's great. You think your generation invented emo? I don't think they invented emo. I think that there are a lot of people who had the emo phase, you know? Clem was a scene kid at homeschool. It's true. Streams could be called lessons. Oh, what did you think of the lesson today? No, you're so fine. But, make sure to bring your meme next time. You have another day, okay? You've got 24 hours, Alpaca, to bring back another meme. And make sure you do so, please. Movie night is the day the regular teacher doesn't show up. Yes, that's the one! Exactly, where they just chuck on a movie. I love it. We're going to watch Die Hard 2. We watched Die Hard 1 a while back, but we haven't done the second one. I don't know this one. Sorry, Barry. No, OnlyFans, why? You will make six figures. Kevin, I actually have a very genuine response to you because there's no guarantee that I would make six figures. So, for example, I am barely making ends meet on what I am earning right now. So now the assumption that I have a large enough following to be able to earn six figures on OnlyFans is very unfounded. I would need to have a already large existing audience, which I don't. I have a very lovely audience, but they will not be able to afford me six-figure salary over on OnlyFans, because I can't even afford that on my current platform. And so you're absolutely incorrect. Unless you're implying that you would give me $100,000. In that case, Kevin, we've got a whole nother conversation that we've got to be having. More like six fingers. Yeah, that's why people think I'm AI. I don't have an OnlyFans. No, I don't have an OnlyFans unless you're willing to give me a lot of money. But this is what I find so funny is so many people are like, oh, you're going to make so much money. No, the top 1%, even the top 0.1% are the ones who are making six figures. There are plenty of people, just like on any social media, hundreds of or thousands of people who are not making that much money. You might be able to get a bit of pocket money. Maybe you'll make $100 here or there. And as long as you're comfortable with making OnlyFans content, doesn't have to be sexual, of course. Hello, welcome on in. Sorry, I got to finish this thought. So you're coming into a conversation about OnlyFans. But to be saying that people will earn six figures is completely unfounded. Anyway, hi Raiders. I hope you had a wonderful stream. Yeah, I had talk of OnlyFans. Quite. Someone said that, why don't I have one? You'll make six figures. I will not make six figures. I don't know Britty Kitty. Sorry, not familiar with them. Jace does get a lot of crazy people on YouTube, and the thing is that Jace actually, without even chatting to Jace about it, Jace taught me that I will not have live chat available when I do YouTube gaming. I went, you know what? I don't want to deal with that. I already have enough weirdos come in on the YouTube chat when we're just chatting. So the video game streams, when I do them, I just turn live chat off. And Jace was, I learnt vicariously through Jace with that one.
Okay, I'm from New Zealand. Okay, we're catching up. I used to have a mohawk in high school. Hell yeah, that's awesome. What's your favorite movie of all time? Moulin Rouge is my favorite movie, the musical. Maybe it's because of the internet. I was wondering why people asking you about being AI, but the image texture really looks like those AI clips. Exactly right. And especially on vertical stream, I understand it even more because it's like it's so close. But if you see more, then it becomes less obvious that it's AI. Oh, sorry. Wait, did I just do a Freudian slip? Oh, we actually are very close to super chat. We need to get enough watch hours. I think that by the end of the month that we might be able to hit it, which is very exciting. Who the fuck asked that? What a weirdo. Correct, Dirty Dan. Correct. 3.14159. Hilarious. Hilarious. How you going, Goku? It's good to have you. I hope you had a good stream. Yeah, average YouTube chap, exactly. 6 figures. Clem's so flat she barely has a figure. Ouch, but fair. Fair. What color is your Bugatti? Probably like a nice bluey silver. Why not? You don't need to work in construction to be handy. Well, I know that from my own. I actually was doing some handiwork. My housemate's not here at the moment. They'll be back soon. But yesterday, was it yesterday? I was chatting to the mods about it. Day before, I was doing a whole bunch of little handy jobs that they haven't done. So, for example, the shelving underneath the kitchen sink, like whoever lived here beforehand, freaking Becky had done such a terrible job, and all of the home, like the DIY jobs are so bad. And so the sink was loose, and to fix it, the mods have already heard the story. It was a nightmare. It was ridiculous. So yes, you don't have to be in construction to be handy. I consider myself a handy girl. You can take that out of context. I shall allow it. But I fixed the shelf under the sink, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. It took a long time because of reasons, but those reasons are stupid, and I shall not be ranting about them now. So the YouTube subs were about 930, 14-ish, so we're close to 1,000. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure that we'll get the 1,000 soon enough. But it is the watch hours that need to go up. I hate that movie. Okay. I know that's not for everyone. Some people hate musicals. Why would I assume that that's the beautiful thing? It's my favorite movie. It doesn't have to be your favorite movie. Just because you hate it doesn't mean I'm going to stop liking it, you know? People don't like musicals. Why would I subject my favorite movie to someone else? The question was what my favorite movie is. Is that a cow? Close enough. It's a Bulbasaur. The big fish. Well, Ewan McGregor. You gotta love it. Tombstone. Oh, I don't know Tombstone. Okay. Single girl. What makes you say single girl? Do I give off single girl vibes? Is that the thing? Hi, Kelpie. How does one give off single girl vibes? You don't need to be a builder to be handy, but the work is usually illegal. Please sign for Arsenal. Please sign for Arsenal. We need you, and also have a very important match today. I've retired, man. I've retired. No, I don't know who Jabdo is. Sorry, Jack. Show your nails? You mean my cut nails that are not polished or even long and would be perfect for doing jobs? And also, do you know what's more impressive is when people do have very long nails and they can still do things. Like using your phone when you have long nails is a genuine skill. It's very difficult to do. My favorite movies are the Lord of the Rings extended trilogy. Great choice. Labyrinth. I used to say Labyrinth a lot because a lot of people, when I do live streams, they ask very repetitive questions. And one of them is like, what's your favorite TV show? What's your favorite musician? What's your favorite movie? For a long time, I was saying Labyrinth because I was like, I don't actually have an answer. I don't know what my favorite movie is. So I chose Labyrinth because it's a great answer. But over time, I realized actually my favorite movie is indeed Moulin Rouge. But Labyrinth, I do like Labyrinth a lot. I've been wanting to watch it for a while. The fact you didn't say Lord of the Rings as a New Zealand person, I only watched Lord of the Rings for the first time last year. Isn't that crazy? That's the proper lack of patriotism, is that it took me that long to even watch the series. Would you morally choose to do OnlyFans? Well, we spoke about OnlyFans, how it doesn't have to be explicit content. I have no desire to do like nudity or R18 explicit content, and so I don't think. I guess the word morally I'm struggling with because I don't see it as immoral to do nude content, but I guess it would go against my, I don't know if morals is the word I would use, my values, beliefs. All of these seem like too intense. I don't think about it that deeply. It's just the same way that I don't want, I guess I wouldn't pivot to like Call of Duty content. You know what I mean? Like if someone is like, "Hey, I'll pay you this amount,"
I'm doing my part.
or maybe it's not even a paying thing. I have to wait and take the money out of the equation first. I wouldn't gain anything from now pivoting to FPS shooting games. I'm not interested in these multiplayer FPS games. That like I don't want to do it. I don't have interest in it. It is not something that I find enjoyment out of. I don't want the audience that comes along with that, and I'm hoping that that is a good correlation as well to explain OnlyFans. And the other thing is understanding the reality of a situation rather than the morality of a situation. So the reality is that if I were to pivot my content now, oh my gosh, another raid. What the heck? Welcome on in. Hello, hello. What the heck? Thanks, guys. We're just chatting about morals, I suppose. I hope you had a good one, Les. Hello, hello. It's so good to see that you're still streaming. How was it? How'd you go? Princess Bride is absolutely a wonderful film as well. And so just we're just chatting about things, and then we're going to play some Oblivion eventually. So welcome on in, Raiders. It's good to have you here. Okay, so coming back to Drake's question, I wouldn't pivot to go do another form of content if I have no interest in it. And when I was talking about the reality of the situation is I have no guarantee that changing my content will give me money. What I do have guarantee is doing content that I can enjoy. If I am not enjoying content, why should I do it? Especially for the recognizing that to be more eloquent, what is my pursuit? Is my pursuit to now earn tens of thousands of dollars? Because if that's the case, then I probably could just go into a different field that is not live streaming. Because again, it is the reality. The chance at getting this is so slim, and it's going to be even slimmer if I don't enjoy the content itself. And so now we are looking at hypotheticals, right? The hypothetical of, hey, you are guaranteed X amount of dollars if you pursue this type of content. Would I do it? That is now so many movements away to try and answer the question that it feels somewhat irrelevant of a idea to even entertain. Like you say, 20 grand could be feasible, but is the juice worth the squeeze? And so that can be more of a moral thing. But the same way that there are plenty of things that I could be doing on my live streams that I don't do that could increase my viewership, that it could increase my revenue. And is the juice worth the squeeze? At this stage, no. No, it is not. I would much prefer to be making sure that I am comfortable enjoying myself and doing what I feel is natural to me, because otherwise, what's the point in doing anything else, you know? So the answer is no, I wouldn't do OnlyFans. Okay, my favorite movie is How to Train Your Dragon. Incredible choice. I watched it again only a few months ago, and it was so good. It's so good. Great choice of favorite movie. You know why girls win arguments easily? If you want the answer, just say yes. I don't want the answer. And as a male, I like to keep long nails so I can grab stuff better. Exactly. I actually had that issue as I was trying to like pinch something, and I didn't have nails, and it was really hard to pull a nail, actually, was funnily enough, out of this kind of area because I couldn't just grab it. It was really annoying. Morals is the word I'd use. Okay, I'll use the word morals then. Have you ever seen the 80s movie The Dark Crystal? No, but I know about it, and I know a lot of people love it as well. That puppetry again. I guess I was inclined towards infant adoption being illegal. Oh, you've thought about it. Because there are care centers which are better suited to the infant will. Yes, this I can agree with. But I think that there are a lot of people who go through a process to be able to be accepted to adopt a child. Being adopted, I would have liked staying in a care center than being adopted at all. That would be a conversation that you should have with other people who are adopted, because I especially people who are adopted at a later age, they can tell you about these centers. I mean, even the depictions of them are not that great, but they potentially could be outdated. I do agree that there are plenty of people who are not equipped to be parents, but they're allowed to have children, and that has nothing to do with adoption. Whereas, at least when people are adopting a child, there is a vetting process. They have to give their ID, they have to give like the police check, they have to go through a vetting process. And therefore, I actually think that sometimes people who are adopting children are better suited parents than people who just had a kid. But that's just my opinion. OnlyFans girls are not brain dead, especially the ones who are earning millions of dollars. They have to be very, very talented to be able to market themselves and also have the thick skin to handle a lot of the commentary that comes on. For example, being called brain dead. That is something that a lot of OnlyFans models, let's say, or users are having to deal with. And so there is a lot of like I said, thick skin that they need to develop, and they have to be very good at marketing to be able to earn a lot of money on it, because it's not as easy as just taking your clothes off and then being able to get a whole bunch of cash. So no, there are just like anything, there are millionaires who are not very intelligent, but you wouldn't. A lot of the flack that these girls get is because of the industry they're in, rather than because of their actual intelligence. No World of Warcraft, not at this stage. If you're doing content, I'm going to soak it up as long as you're having fun. Thank you, Hugh. I'm out to do some shopping. All the best, Ian. Enjoy your Sunday if we don't see you later. It's very refreshing to hear you talk about streaming in a humble manner. Thank you. It's a lot easier to do this now that I am not having to pay rent. Where did you get your coat from? This one is actually from a store back in Melbourne. I saw it, and it was maybe from I don't know if they do. Sorry, I was pausing on my thoughts because I don't know if they ship globally. But it's an Australian brand called Dangerfield. So Dangerfield, they have a few they have a website, is my point, and so this is from Dangerfield. But I don't know if they do. I don't know if they do global shipping. I am from Australasia. I'm from New Zealand. Are you begging for money online? Not at the moment. Is this really live? Yes. Where did you get your... Oh, yeah, the jumper from. The juice may not be worth a squeeze, but shouldn't you also get as much from the fruit before it gets thrown in the compost bin? Ooh, I am about to get expired, so maybe it's time to pivot my content. Hi from Alabama. Hello. I hope that you get some rest. Yes, exactly. There are plenty of smart women and that's the thing is, like I said, there are plenty of people who go into any industry without the reality of the situation. So people will, like me, be told that they'll make six figures if they go make nude content. But that's not the guarantee. So if I were to go into OnlyFans now, would you assume that I am brain dead? Maybe. Okay, well, that's your opinion. I have no more arguments to make against that in that case. I got nothing to argue. Okay, maybe maybe you thought I got hit on the head and changed my opinion, but I think if I would like to think that if I chose to do it, that you guys would make assumptions that I've done risk analysis and decided it was worth it. Tell me something authentic and real. Ooh. Tell me something authentic and real. Okay. I'll tell you some of my shower thoughts. Hey, Lily.
I'm saying let the free juice go in the bin. Yeah, you're fine. I actually do have something. I'll tell you my shower thoughts that I had the other day. I have no issue with anyone sharing explicit pics of themselves, but I don't think OnlyFans helps with towards an equal society. That is a clever man. I think that men that pay for it have a feeling of ownership of the women they pay to see pics and videos of. Yes, I absolutely agree. I think that there are plenty of people, and this is what I was talking about, thick skin, is there are plenty of women who go into the industry understanding what that entails. I would not survive in that industry. No, it would not be for me whatsoever. Thank you, Blue. Welcome on in. How was your stream? Oh my gosh. Why make content in the first place is what I'm saying. There's an industry for it, as they say, as one of the oldest industries, and people will capitalize on that. So until we come back to what Magpie was saying, until we address the dismantling the industry altogether, then that's where it is. So I guess Dirty Dan, this is you don't have to answer this, but actually, in fact, I encourage you not to answer it. So keep that in mind. But I think that a lot of people in the community, I would dare say even maybe over 90%, maybe I'm wrong about that, but there are a lot of people who probably engage in some form of sexual content. Do you want that content to just not exist? And I'm not saying do you think it shouldn't exist. Very well wearing scantily clad clothing, as many do, even on Twitch. Highly sexualized gestures on OnlyFans, then I might consider you to be big brain, but I think you need to make that happen before we can really answer. Yes, I like the cheekiness of yeah, you should maybe just need to make it happen. I know you don't mean it this way, but I'm reading it this way. I was like, give it a go for science, for research. They've been making prawn since the camera was invented, indeed. Even beforehand with paintings, you know what? First Kiwi, kia ora. Welcome on in, Texas. I'm the man of the earth. Thank goodness you're here. Do you know Stray Kids? Yes, the K-pop band. I do indeed. But you don't have to spam it. In fact, please don't. We were talking about OnlyFans, actually. Ozban is going well. We prefer intimate exchanges. If we didn't have it, black market will be for it and the girls will get even more exploited. Yeah, more than they already do. Exactly right. Exactly right. Oh, sorry, we don't have links in the chat. Can't so. Unless we all get a month free, stop playing with our hearts. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so anyway, my point is that I think everyone can understand that the industry will continue to exist because people want it. However, how that industry looks, how we treat the women in it, because usually it is this exploitation of women. And don't get me wrong, there can be issues on the men in the industry as well. But it's about safer practices rather than trying to, because abstinence or what's it called? Bans don't work for anyone. You can see that in drugs. You can see that in alcohol prohibition. Banning something does not help the problem. Safer practices do. If we try to make if the industry try to put value in less gross practices, then maybe we'll see healthier views on women as well. From third world country, people are thirsty over here. They crave for attention, especially from women. Well, it doesn't matter if you're in a third world country. I think that's just how things go. Are you a misandrist? No. Why treat women better? Well, as a woman, I would like to be treated better. For example, the only reason that we're even having this conversation is because someone saw me, a woman, and decided that I would make 6 figures on OnlyFans. That is not autonomy. That is objectification. That is someone that is looking at me and going, hey, take your clothes off. I would like to be treated better. It would feel good if people wouldn't just assume that all I am good at looking... all I am is basically, what do I look like when I have no clothes on? It would be nice. And that's the thing, is I recognize that there are so many more good people out there who recognize that's not what I do. It does get very tiresome that these conversations come up over and over again, but at the same time, I can sift through the weeds to get to the people who do want to have very open, honest conversations, and even with these things can have honest conversations within the yuckiness of it.
Adult industry indeed. I'm off 13 rhino pills fighting off the shadow people in Waffle House bathroom looking for someone to play ranked. Let me know. What, like, are you just using the Waffle House Wi-Fi? Best advice you've ever received? I don't know. I don't think you can have the quantifier of best, because there's no way that I can think of the best advice. But you can say, what is good advice that I've received? And I know it sounds really cliche, but run your own pace. Comparison is the theft of joy. However, we also have, hey, welcome on back. Oh, Gord? Did I get that right, Bar Mustache? I bet your girlfriend's hot. I think you said to call you Gord. Did I get that correct? I said I wouldn't remember, but I'm trying to remember. Oh, also true. Yep, the amount of people who, even if the fact that they die or even just get hurt, for example, especially Lebanese women. Nice. I see best advice: talk nicely to women or face sexual harassment. There are a lot of incels. Yep. That's not objectification. That's a very poor estimate on what you would really make. Also very true. Yes, that is very, very true. I think you would make more if you zipped yourself up in a sleeping bag and became a worms only stream. I agreed, to be honest. I agree. Okay, so advice, yeah, run your own pace. But the real and authentic thing I was going to share was, before you guys distracted me, I feel like it is no longer relevant. So I don't want to talk about it anymore. Blondie was an incel, involuntarily celibate. So basically someone who is, which is kind of ironic because they kind of then make themselves voluntarily. They're kind of more like volcels. When you dub yourself as an incel, you are also dubbing yourself as a volcel. Anyway, it just means it's supposed to come from this idea. Hi, I said hi. Hi, otaku. Is that what you wanted? Fuck incel team AMD, based and true. And so basically the incel is the idea that there are people who are not engaging in sexual relations, which makes them celibate. And then the involuntary bit is that it's not by choice. Hence the portmanteau incel. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, so what it has developed into now, however, so that is where the root of the word is. The fact that they're not rooting. So that is the root of the word, but where it has developed is that a lot of these people are banding together to talk about their incel, the entitlement that they should be having to not be incels, essentially. And so it's devolved into this idea that women are gatekeepers of sex and fuck all women, and that's where it kind of turns into misogyny. And yeah, life is awesome. I agree with him. Yeah, the root of the word is the lack of rooting. Exactly right. Too depressed to even try. The original meaning comes from a woman trying to help men struggling with dating and is morphed into an insult. I didn't actually know that, but I will have to take your word from it. I haven't looked into it, but I could understand that. Or it's like, oh, you know, like you're not having sex at the moment. It's not necessarily your fault. You're involuntarily like you're not choosing to abstain from sex, and therefore you are celibate, but not because of choice. Because there are people who are like, you know, no sex before marriage is an example of someone who is choosing to not have sex, and so they're not an incel just because they're not having sex. It is a choice. Whereas incels are people who are not choosing to not have sex. And so I definitely don't think that the the word is necessarily inaccurate, but just like a lot of things, it has now been slapped onto a group of people. So, for example, I feel very similarly with looks maxing. Looks maxing, I don't think it shouldn't be a bad thing. It should be about trying to bring out the best qualities of yourself, learning how to dress, learning how to cut your hair, learning tips about working out. I, as someone very slim, I do not know the best ways to work out, not because I'm trying to get more fit, but because I'm trying to have a healthier body. Being able to have a community that I could indulge in to now help me with these things is not a bad thing. Where it has become a bad thing is, the inhumane practices and the danger that is involved. And so I think that the core and perhaps, as Fofo said, where the term incel has come from doesn't necessarily have to be an insult or a bad thing, but it is now slapped onto a community of people that are often synonymous with misogynist. Ah, there we go, Nine Fox. Also corroborating this. It started as a self-help group run by women. Wow. But the angry women haters took over. This is something I'm going to have to look into. I did not know this at all. How can you say you're celibate if you participate in self-gratification? My understanding is, you were talking about masturbation, that does not mean that you are now participating in sexual relations. So yes, you can be celibate even if you are touching yourself. So disappointed, says Les. So the angrier they get, the more they can't get women. Yeah, exactly. And especially, that's the thing, is the angrier they get, the more woman hating they are. And so therefore they don't want to even have sex with women because they hate women so much. And so that's what I mean, is it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's why femcells exist as well. In the opposite direction, where there are a lot of people who are online talking about how gross men are and how much of a man hater they are. And I can't imagine that feels good to hear. I recognize that a lot of this can come from the horrific experiences that people have had. Don't get me wrong. I've had some myself. In fact, I've had several today. So I understand that would turn you off an entire gender, especially when you get it reinforced over and over and over again. But I'm not gonna let that now mean I unfortunately don't have the Amazon rainforest with all of the Amazonians to be able to go to and just live a wonderful life with a whole bunch of women. And so therefore I have to accept that there are many genders in this world, and there's no help. It doesn't help me to just now all of a sudden discount and dismiss an entire gender. And on that, why would I be a man hater? Whereas men, I kind of do it as a bit of a joke, I suppose. I was, when we were watching the movie yesterday, I was like, men, am I right? But there are people that I have interacted with that you can tell that it's just a little bit too far. It is a little bit too far. And you can see that online constantly, where it's like, all men are disgusting, blah, 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 blah. And so it's like, well, how do you expect to find a partner? Like, especially the same people who talk about dating. That's the thing, is how do you, I don't know. Maybe I'm just privileged that I know a lot of nice guys and that I don't let bad guys waste my time. Or I do let them waste my time on stream, and then that way I don't let them waste my time in real life. Not that this isn't real life, but in offline life. Both the incel and looks maxing community have both become infested with grifters. Exactly. We also don't know what the stream is about. The goal for an incel is to try and get sex. They sometimes follow reasonable self-help advice, but then they ask, will we have sex now?
Imagine believing that women exist. This is also true. Women don't exist. I am AI. I'm actually just a guy behind a AI mask. What does it mean if my girlfriend wants to get married ASAP? It means that those are her values and that she probably wants to have kids and that she thinks that you are well, and especially if you're saying that you warn her that she's not that you're not rich, that shows that, wow, surprisingly enough, she likes you for who you are. Is that confronting for you? Or are you saying it's a red flag that she's settling for you? Because either way, that shows that you probably have insecurity in yourself if you, one, think that she is settling, two, that you decided to date her even if you think that she might be having red flags. I don't know what your thought process is. These are just the questions. My real thought is that you probably don't have a girlfriend whatsoever, but that is just maybe a mean assumption to have. The spiral of depression is very true for sure. Why don't people like me yet? Because they think of having sex as a final goal. And isn't that so indicative? Sex should not be the final goal, and that already makes my skin crawl for sure. How do you discipline yourself from forming stereotypical opinions? Decades of practice. Women are cool, but I can't maintain a romantic relationship with them. I'm voluntarily celibate for the moment. There you go. And then maybe once you find that you are ready to try again, then that's something that you can try again with. What would your tip be for men who are more introverted and seeking to meet partners? Ooh. So there's this guy called Healthy Gamer GG, Dr. K. I have been trying to watch more of his videos because I do think he has really good points, and he is really trying to address a lot of these things in a way that he is actually qualified to do so rather than a random person on the internet like myself. He has psychological expertise. He even shares his sources. He shows which books he is reading from. And one thing that I watched recently is how you are literally able to change your personality. And it's very interesting concept because I do agree our personalities change over time after all, and so you have the ability to change your personality. And so I think that with that concept, people who are more introverted will, if they want to meet people, they will have to find times where they have to go out and socialize. And so finding what type of socialization I think is really important. So I'm not just saying, well, you're an introvert, now change your personality, be an extrovert. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you do have the ability to push that. And I think a lot of people will mistake introversion and social anxiety. They will say they're synonymous. They're not synonymous. You can be introverted and charismatic at the same time, but you might find that after having a big social conversation that you're exhausted. And that is more the indication of introversion rather than socially anxious. And so if we think about it as an introvert specifically, then I would say that find the things that you enjoy, and hopefully you find someone that also enjoys these same things, and do it for yourself. And if you're happy doing it for yourself, then you'll hopefully make friends with that. But sometimes you just got to shoot your shot. I think I'm pretty good at shooting my shot platonically as well. So for example, I heard some people talking about Dungeons and Dragons at a coffee shop. I would not be going to D&D every single week if it weren't for me going out of my way to say, hey, I play D&D. Would that be okay if I come along? And maybe we catch up for a coffee just to see that we can get along before going there. Are you real? No, I'm not real. And so, yeah, board games, exactly. And so I believe that it is understanding whether it's introversion or whether it's social anxiety. Yeah, see, that sounds more maybe a little bit of social anxiety. I think that for new people, if that's a more specific case, alpaca, I will give an extra little bit of thought process in that regard, is that remind this person that new people don't know who they are. And so they can become anyone they want. Moving countries is a good example of that. No one knows who you are.
And so you definitely have the ability to reinvent yourself. So if they are meeting new people, those new people don't know who they are. It is how this person views themselves. This person who views themselves maybe with lower self-confidence, as an introvert, maybe some social anxiety, that is how they see themselves. And maybe you knowing them, you can see those things. But a new person, someone that they're trying to date, does not see those things. And so I think there is a bit of a fake it till you make it mentality, you know? My IG is the same as my current handle, xclementine_. Yeah. xclementine_, savvy? There you go. Okay. Why she was so fast to ask. Yeah, I don't know how long it's been in your relationship, by the way, Jack. I've been with my girl for over 14 years. No ring, no need to ask. We are best friends. Yes, I have spoken about this at length. I'm not really a big fan. I'm not one who values marriage, but others do. So I have to recognize and respect that as well. Celibate people practicing self-care made me think of the really old Cradle of Filth shirt, Vestal masturbation, that picture a nun practicing self-care. It was somewhat controversial when it was released at the start of the 21st century. Damn, that sounds really cool. What does it matter what the stream is about? We're just goofy. Exactly. Thank you, Godu. Thank you. Thank you. But the thing is that they're not asking through hate. They're asking because they are often coming in for the first time and they're like, oh, what's the stream about? Is this something for me? So, for example, if I was playing a video game right now, I would get less comments on what is the stream about because they can see what the stream is about. It's about me playing a video game. But when we're talking, it's like, okay, are we talking politics? Are we talking specific topics? So that's kind of why they ask the question. Just not a random person on the internet. You're the random person. Thank you. I needed that confident boost. Thank you, Infinite Fest. If you're an incel celebrating their incel tendencies in a group within a group that has split off from the main group, selling boats to jail on the phone, that's right. It's incel celebrating selling cells to cells with their cells on their cells. Hot damn. Weren't you going to play a game at some point? Yeah, I think I'll probably not play today. I am feeling a bit exhausted. Sundays are meant to be my more casual days anyway, so I don't actually mind if we don't end up playing Oblivion today. Because I doing the MAYrathon, right? Thank you for asking as well, Marty Meteor. I do really appreciate it. The MAYrathon is meant to be me streaming every single day, but unlike last year, I decided that this year I would put in some measures in place to make sure that I'm doing it healthily and without having burnout. And so if I ever feel like I'm going to have burnout, then I'll just end stream basically. And I made it so that Saturdays are streaming movie nights. And so technically I don't come on live like this. I really enjoy the movie nights, but and even yesterday, usually I try to go for a run in the morning on Saturdays, but I decided not to do that yesterday while I've had this hip issue. So I went, oh, maybe I'll do a live stream in the morning before movie night. And then I went, you know what? I'll stick to my guns. I will stick to the schedule and I will use, because it's meant to be like my rest day, right? And I'm really glad that I took that day off. Yeah, on Saturdays we blame Albert. I'm really glad I did that because it is good for me to have a proper break, and especially when we're constantly combating, especially on YouTube. Like there's constant being on, right, and combating a lot of comments. And also just engaging deeply. And like I said, I do like thinking, but I also like my time to think on my own and process kind of what has been said. And sometimes if we jump into something else, then I don't have that opportunity to process. And so Sunday, my point, is meant to also be a bit of a relaxed break. So we don't do any React content. We just do some goofing around. We're not going to play any video games. If we do play Oblivion, then we play Oblivion. It's just my relaxed day. Happy Mother's Day, indeed. Even if you are not a mother, you still have one. So it's a beautiful day to celebrate regardless, you know? I'm doing well. How are you? I've basically been single most of my life, says Lil Goth. People are not lining up to date autistic partners, let alone the smattering of mental health issues that causes. I do understand the anger that chronic social isolation causes. Yes, I completely agree. I experience these things to an extent, obviously with a very different lens, because that lens is only my own. I find that a lot of my struggles with that, like anger or frustration, whatever it is, insecurity, I think is the word I would use. A lot of my insecurity comes from platonic relationships rather than the romantic relationships. You know, I got out of the long-term romantic relationship. I'm just kind of taking that side of things easy. But I do notice that I have a lot of issues when it comes to forming platonic relationships. And if you're wondering kind of what I'm alluding to, it is very personal, so I probably won't talk about it very in depth today, but let me put it this way. There have been people that, if you've been following for a few years, that I have engaged with and tried to form relationships with, and then they've not been very good people, and that sucks. And that's
I'm doing my
documented online, let alone everything that gets documented offline. So I'm pretty good at setting my boundaries. At least when someone reveals their true nature, I cut it off. But it does mean that I'm rather susceptible to not having very good relationships platonically, and so it's tough. Platonic means lack of romance, basically. So friendship. So if you, so a friend that you're not trying to date or sleep with, that's a platonic relationship. It can technically extend to other types of relationships, but in simple terms, it's just friendships. It's just friendships. A relationship that is not romantic. I'm an introvert, but I love to host a board game night. Being a dungeon master, inviting people for a barbecue, but I need to be alone the day after, and that's how I relate. As introverts are not necessarily anti-social people. That is another thing as well. It just means that, and humans are very social creatures. I absolutely believe that you can sleep with someone platonically. Friends with benefits, I think, can 100% be a thing. But that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about friends with benefits. We're talking about platonic relationships that are not romantic, essentially. Coming back to the socializations to humans, I think are social. The fact that you guys are literally here and typing away, I think shows an indication of seeking of socialization. And I can say that for myself as well. A lot of people will say, oh, like, what do you do? I'm like, well, I do like socializing. I just also like my time alone afterwards. And so it's really cool to be able to socialize so much when live streaming, you know. Okay, I am going to just scroll through here. People also don't know that you are AI. I am AI, at least. Are you in Ireland? No, I'm in the UK. I'm worried of the people who ask the same thing in spam form. Exactly. It's like, what do they think that they're achieving right now? Hi, Becca. How you going? Yeah, the stream etiquette, exactly. My parents got divorced when I was young. I could see they weren't meant for each other, but yet here I am. There we go, Dirty Dan. I'm from New Zealand. Okay. It's better than the alternative. Thank you, Multimedia. Ow. Problems with burnout? Try less spicy food. Hilarious. 6:40 in the morning. That's not too bad. Hip issue, but you do nothing right? What do you mean? No, the problem I have my hip issue is because of the exercise that I was doing, and the reason that it is even better is because of all of the things I've been doing this week to better it. I got mine a lava cake. That's so lovely. Lava cakes are delicious. Hard to buy for people that got it sorted in the 80s. I should actually get some sleep anyway. Of course, Kiwi Man. We'll see you next time. Yeah, go enjoy your weekend, whatever you get up to. Thanks for being here, Kiwi Man. Okay, I've not listened to COF since like 2006, but it's some controversy about Danny Xaya. Oh, is this I don't know what COF is. Okay, never mind. I'm from New Zealand. Cool. I think we could be platonic friends. Why not? Yeah, exactly. I agree. Why not?
It's difficult to grasp all this being antisocial. Best luck with your romances. Yes, exactly. Isa, I feel like that one would be a tough one for your demographic for sure. Best way to meet someone is ask to get to know them in a cafe. Exactly right. It's like, hey, what a chat. I'm from New Zealand. Oh my god, crazy little goth. I secretly tend to fall in love with any person I talk to for too long. You could look into something called demisexuality, Ida. A lot of people hate the idea of slapping labels onto things. I'm not trying to slap a label onto you. I just think it's worth reading about because it might help you understand where your feelings are coming from. You don't have to identify as demisexual, but I think that there are a lot of things in demisexuality that could help you understand where that's coming from, and maybe that will make you either not fall in love so easily, or maybe there is something that you identify with. Yeah, I need my first hip replacement, not even 30. Isn't that crazy? I feel that Brutal Folks, my dog is a staffy and is about as smart as a brick wall. You would have better luck training a sofa. Hilarious. Cradle of filth. There we go. Oh, thank you, Buck Billy. I appreciate it. Thanks, Antonio. Okay. Yes, exactly. 9 Fox. Alright, are we in an ad break? I was trying to catch up before the Twitch ads. Frick! It was running for the last 2 minutes. What's a rabbit's favorite music? Hip hop. I think what I'm going to do is do I want to play video games? I guess I could take a little 10-minute break. Do I feel like playing video games? That is the real question. We've been streaming for 3 hours. Let me consider this. I think that instead of playing video games, what I might do is I'll use the afternoon to just do a little bit of editing. I have like a lot of plushies, but I try not to get into collecting because I get very like completionist about it. And so if I do collect things, I will never stop. So I know that it is a flaw in my personality I choose not to indulge in because I know it will be bad. Close. It's a mirrorless camera, so not technically a DSLR, but you're very close. But yes, you are correct to an extent. So it is a very, very fancy camera. I can show you if you'd like. It might not. I know that not as many people are used to the fancy cameras. Maybe I'll go a bit higher because then you can see the lens. There you go. That's what my little setup looks like. So you can see you guys and then the fancy camera. Just on this little stand there. No, not again. You annoy me? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, James. You don't have to be here if I annoy you. You have the choice to decide whether to keep watching or not. I don't feel like I'll be able to change your mind on that one. Thank you, Bova. I really appreciate that. I'm 29. Okay. I think that what we'll do is we'll probably wrap it up because we're kind of... Oh, no, we won't wrap it up. Not yet, because I have some things that I want to look at before we fully wrap it up. Okay, so... What do you do for work? Currently, I'm just live streaming for work, Jay. But in the future, maybe I'll get another job. I have had jobs in the past, but I've just moved countries, and so I'm still settling in essentially. And at the moment, this is all I do for now. You don't own a single knife. I have a knife literally right here. It's like within arm's reach. What do you mean? A lot of people must annoy James for sure. Oh, thank you. That's such a lovely message as well. Oh, you've really made me blush. What the heck? What would I not do to have gadgets like that? You're living the dream. Thank you. Yeah, so a lot of what I have purchased was before I started live streaming, when I had a regular job, and also I also had discounts on these equipment. I actually didn't buy this camera for live stream. I bought it for photography. I was trying to get into photography, and I was using it for a while, and then when I started live streaming, funnily enough, I didn't even use it for several years, and then I went, I've kind of been doing this live streaming thing for a couple years. Maybe I should upgrade my camera, and so I've used this one, which is just my photography one. I collect knives, so this one is a ladybug. It's from Spyderco. Yeah, it's just a little ladybug. Can you touch your nose with your lips? Probably. Why do you have a knife? I use it to open my parcels, and it's good for little things, and because I'm crazy, obviously. I got the knife out. Yeah, I need another bandage, exactly. Thanks, Phil. We see you next time. Imagine what exists behind what is necessary for the ad. It is eerie. I saw you say how it's odd to be stuck behind one. It's funny that you say, will you move to Australia? I've actually left Australia. So I'm from New Zealand. I lived in Australia for 10 years, and I decided I wanted to leave. I never became a citizen, so I wouldn't have been able to be in the Defence Force unless I took that up, I believe. I don't think I could be in the Defence Force without being a citizen. Although now that I'm saying that out loud, don't quote me on that because I'd have to look into it. I am definitely a tea person. Every single stream I start with a cup of tea. Back again. Welcome back, Kira. Yes, I love to travel as well, A player, and that's exactly why I moved. I've moved to the UK so that I can travel a lot more of Europe. I've just come back from the Balkans, and so Slovenia and Croatia, and I've got trips planned to Denmark, Iceland, and Spain later in the year as well. Welcome, Ask. It's so good to have a new person here. I have been to the United States, yes, but that was a long time ago. That was 10 years ago now. Adelica. I'm not familiar with Adelica, but yeah, this my ex got this for me, actually. If you really want to know how I ended up with this, is my ex was getting into not collecting knives, but kind of watching content, and so they have a Spyderco, and they got me a little Spyderco. And they're also into like camping and whatnot, so that's where they'd get some of their camping knives, I suppose. But I wouldn't say they're a knife collector. They're just like having the correct tool for the job, and through that came across the knowledge of knives, I suppose. There we go, Jay. I did not know that. Hi, New. I'm Nine Fox. Hey, Aman. How you going? Tea is very good. We're in the US. Oh, it was just California. Technically a little bit further. So I flew into LA, and I did an acting course for a while. So I was stationed there for several weeks. And then I took a bus up to San Francisco, and then I did a tiki tour that took me through the Yosemite National Park, Death Valley, the Grand Canyon. So obviously now we're crossing state borders. And then it ended up back in LA. There's a location that I'm forgetting that we stopped in as well. But I did that with a tour group, basically. And then I flew out of LA back to Australia. So it was good. Will you ever move to Asia? Probably not, but never say never, I suppose. The ADF is a joke. Send you to Waterkill, then you're in jail for killing. You know more about it than I do, Bob, I guess. Clem would be in the RAF. She's great with gravity. Har, har. Har, har, har. Yes, I've been to Amsterdam, but that was a long time ago. I would consider going back. I think that I found other parts of the Netherlands more interesting than Amsterdam, personally. One of the nicest people I met on Shorts that reply to everyone. I don't know, people think being nice is uncool, right? Isn't that crazy? Oh, thank you, Lee. That's really sweet. And bless your day as well. Bless your whole weekend, in fact. Have you done any day trips to historical cool places? Not really, to be honest. I've been to Cambridge, but that was to visit a friend more so. I don't have a vehicle, so it does make it a little bit harder to plan. But that is something that I want to do. This month, I'm basically just working on. Streaming, basically, and then I can do some more UK tours, because I would like to see some things. I did go to Stonehenge. Stonehenge
Stonehenge is actually kind of disappointing. Do I really want to get into this now? Basically, they made it so that you can't really get very close to it. And so I didn't even stop at Stonehenge. The distance from the road to Stonehenge is not really any better than if you try and park and look at Stonehenge. There's nothing around. It's just very, is that it? And so I have got my little photo of it, but I don't feel like I need to go back. I saw what I needed to see out of the window of the car. As in, what about Africa? As in moving to Africa? I've only been to South Africa, and that was only 2 months ago. 2 months ago? 3 months ago. I really, really, really enjoyed my time in South Africa. I mean, I could probably be convinced to move there. It was pretty darn awesome. But I don't know much about the rest of Africa. Hi, Hedwig. That's why ADF can't get people to join. Okay. Well, that does sound pretty stupid. Let's get married. Okay. Yeah, you told me. Okay. Yes. That sounds great. Yeah, I am feeling better today, just pacing myself, but I don't think I'll play any games now that I've kind of thought about it a little bit more. I think I think that I need to digest all of this morning, and especially because I rushed out of bed today because I slept in. I think that that's probably not made me have very good pacing either. I way enjoyed Whitby Abbey than Stonehenge. I don't think I know Whitby Abbey, so maybe that's one I can check out. Also, Lil Goth, would you have you been to the UK Games Expo? I know that's near you, and I saw that that's at the end of the month. I think it's probably not going to line up with my schedule anyway, but I saw that that's starting to be advertised, so I was wondering if you think it's worth checking out at all. Thank you, Native. Another James, indeed. Another James. Come to Croatia. Okay, I would love to come back. I actually just went to Croatia in April, and I loved it. I really did. It's such a beautiful country, and I'd 100% go back. Isn't there at least some days of the years you can be around the stones with the druids? I'm not 100% sure. That's something I'd have to look up. People used to chip bits off as souvenirs. Yes, that's why we can't have nice things. I completely get it, but it does suck that it's ruined it for the rest of us who have been trying to be respectful. I've been trying to have more varied interests and be a Renaissance man myself. Any tips for managing all these things? I guess the first question is, do you feel like you're not managing them? Do you feel like some are not getting as much focus as others? Like, where's that thought coming from? Because if you feel like you are just interested in a lot of things and you're enjoying yourself, then I don't think there's anything that you need any tips on. Just continue doing what you're doing, you know? It's worth going to if you like tabletop games. I've been debating about paying it for a visit. I looked at the ticket prices and I was like, okay, I don't think I'll be going this year, but it is something, like I said, that was on my radar. And then I was like, oh, I must ask you about it. So I think it's just too expensive. Druids, yes, druids, indeed. It's just too expensive. Otherwise, I would give it a go. Okay, it doesn't really, like, when convention prices are so high, it doesn't really invite new people into the space, right? It's relying on those who are already very, very into it. Let's check out some of the things that are on my list. I can definitely feel that I will end it after this. So the pickup lines origin. Pickup, as in to pick up, meaning to meet and successfully attract a partner. So I don't think that it means physically picking them up. It's just like, that's pretty much it. In the 1800s, men used to use cheeky printed calling cards to initiate contact, displaying early, more formal versions of the modern pickup line. That's cute. This is just according to AI, by the way, so grain of salt. While used earlier, the term pickup line gained popularity in the 1980s as a term for witty, often cheesy approaches in social settings like bars. I guess there is a Wikipedia. Oh, here we go. Maybe Reddit will give me the answer as well. Play WoW? I've never played myself. If you like stone formation and don't have claustrophobia, finding some cave nearby is probably a better trip than Stonehenge. I kind of like that idea. Are you single? No, I'm actually engaged to about 12 different people. Hi, Matt. Croatia, the seaside hugger when it comes to countries. Bosnia and Herzegovina can't have any. Yes, exactly. And Slovenia, actually. Slovenia got just this tiny little bit as well. So, you know what? Croatia, they won that war, quite literally. Yeah, I can't see anything that's talking about picking someone up quite literally, but apparently it does. Oh, this is someone's thought. It's not exactly true, but going to a dance and picking up a partner, that could be kind of cute. Having pick up as a correlation to when people used to dance together. Hey Azu, hi Crypto. A harem, yeah, not by my choice. People told me, "Will you marry?" Like that, I must marry them. I keep on saying yes, and they keep on leaving. Though I'm not really sure what that says about them or me. I do remember seeing a show where the celebrity made a sizable donation to a foundation. They're allowed to walk among Stonehenge. Cool. That is very cool. As a self-considered Renaissance man, I think the key is to be kind to yourself. You're doing more than most. Don't get discouraged. Don't forget to look back at where you started and praise your growth. That's really beautiful, Boba. Thank you. I'm from New Zealand. That's exactly it, Matt. Isn't it crazy how many people... The thing is, I assume that people look at it... Hi, Matthew. Assume people look at it as a compliment where it's like, wow, like, marry me. It's not a compliment. It's like, well, what do you have to offer, you know? Yo, what's up? I'm doing all right. I'm a little bit tired, but otherwise I'm doing well. Like I said, it's been a lot. Okay, so before we wrap up, though, someone hours ago asked me about a fashion horror that I used to engage in. And this is probably very indicative of my generation, perhaps. But we had a little thing called jites. And if you've never heard of jites before, it's a portmanteau of jeans and tights. Or jeggings was the other one. Jeggings and jites. And my gosh, I'm glad that they don't exist today. So it basically was compiling on the very skinny jeans idea. And I feel like we've moved away from that in 2026. You don't see as many skinny jeans. And in fact, if you do see people wearing skinny jeans, they're often completely outed as a millennial. There are a lot more of these boyfriend jeans, as the women call them. But back in my day, we had jeggings. We had jeggings and jites. And these were things where, as they imply, they are as tight as a legging or a pair of tights, but they were the coloring of jeans. And so they were even less functional than skinny jeans already are, where nothing could fit in the pocket because there would be no pocket whatsoever. And I am glad that this is a fashion that is no longer being used. So it's not super obvious at a glance, right? It just looks like jeans. They're just like, oh yeah, them some jeans, some incredibly skinny jeans. But yes, this literally says jeggings. I don't know if you can tell. So these are jeggings. So I guess similar to walking out with yoga pants on. It's just you're wearing leggings. You're not wearing jeans. You're wearing leggings, and they're just meant to be super tight. They just were a thing. However, the jites were even worse. And and you can see there's a lot less there, but they did exist on top of that. And I remember I didn't have a pair of jites, but this girl at school did, and it was so bold of her to wear them. It was crazy. But they were just thin enough where it was like maybe showing a little bit too much. But yes, jeggings. Jeggings were my fashion faux pas. How horror? It just...
is the material, it's the lack of functionality. A lot of these ones are okay. My ones were not this well, like, disguised, I suppose. But I think it was more about at the time and the age. They're not even more comfortable than jeans. That's the other thing, is if you wear skinny jeans versus leggings, you would assume that leggings would be more comfortable, but they're just so tight anyway that they're not really more comfortable. But that was kind of the idea behind them. They're just not functional in the slightest. I suppose they're not the worst thing, but we asked about the worst things I used to wear. Is there anything worse? Oh, I guess I had really bad fringe as well, and I didn't wash it properly. As in my hair in general. It sends a message, thank you. I've never liked skinny jeans. I'm quite particular about the textures on my skin. Ah, there we go. Do you have any opinions on anything at all? No, I only take the opinions of other people and then they tell me what to think. I have no opinions whatsoever. I get told what to think. I'm curious about what one-on-one time looks like. Well, now I'm curious because do you think that you'd be able to keep up with me in conversation? Are you trans? No. Have any type of women trousers had particular pockets for the last 50 years? Also true. They aren't terrible. I hate that they basically became a thing for men. Yeah, I missed out on low-rise jeans, thankfully. I was just a little bit young for those. Scrunchy bums, yes, I do know about scrunchy bums. I think that it is inappropriate, personally. Yeah, exactly, little goth. Time to ask the big questions. What yoga pants do? Why do yoga pants do that to me? It's not that big of a question. You know exactly right. I was expecting like socks with sandals. I had like I don't know, I got a lot of hand-me-downs, so I guess I was always a little bit late. Have you slept to ASMR? No, I'm not an ASMR person. Think this? I am cool. Okay. Okay. Oh, you think that kind of one-on-one time? Well, I don't engage with sexual relationships with people who come onto the internet and assume that that's something that they can fantasize about me with. So I can already tell you that your imagination is not a very good one because it's not very accurate. Who? Oh, it's a lot of different people. But the thing is, I'm not offended. The thing is, I actually address a lot of the "Are you trans?" questions because I'm trying to address it very casually as my only way of helping change their point of view. I'm not offended if people sometimes I even say because when people are like, "Oh, like good on you for being a role model to other trans people," I'm like, thank you, I really appreciate that, because the only thing that I can do is try and normalize it, because what if I was trans? Like, it changes nothing. It changes nothing in terms of the people watching, or it should change nothing. So that's all I can do. All I can do is try to normalize it, where it's like, yeah, it's allowed to be a valid question. It shouldn't be an offensive question, whether or not I am cis or whether or not I'm trans. It should not be an offensive question. And so normalizing the response, because usually people are trying to get a rise out of me by being like, are you trans? Because they're trying to attack my femininity. I'm not offended by it whatsoever. And in fact, there are plenty of trans women who look more feminine than I do. And so it's just whatever. Like, it's not offensive to me, and I just like to be chill about it, I guess. What's your take on bringing back bell-bottom jeans? I don't think I'm super into the bell-bottom jeans personally. I just like, a boyfriend jean. It's a troll question, exactly. They're trying to insult me. They're trying to call me a man, essentially, but already fundamentally how I see trans people, they're just people. So they're trying to, it's usually just edgy teens, or actually it's not usually just edgy teens, it's just people who are transphobic or misogynistic, and they think that I'll be offended if they call me anything other than a woman, and I'm just not offended. Sundresses, there are some that have really, really beautiful cuts that I'm also very like a slave for. Thank you, Azu. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not trans, but I hope it inspires you to be yourself. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, it's like, but I hope that but if you need help discovering these things for yourself, then we're still an inclusive space. I like this. Yeah, we'll use that. So, are you trans? No, but we are an inclusive space. So, if you're looking for your own self-discovery, then you're in the right place. Something along those lines. Why do men commenting on YouTube think they can get with creators? I guess my question, Peter, in reverse is, do male content creators receive the same fanning? Because I do think there's an extent of parasocialness, and there are a lot of people who talk about it where it's like, oh, you know, I'm not your friend. And so I do think there are a lot of guys who probably get this like, oh, like we'd just be best friends and that kind of parasocialness. But we're not going to kid ourselves. We know that it is very much a women thing that people experience. And you can tell that I'm tired. I'm tired about it today. Usually it doesn't get to me. And today it's not gotten to me. I'm just kind of like eye rolling. I'm indifferent. I just don't care. Or rather, I do care. I do care. That's a lie. I do care. But it's just like, can we just do something else? I might have to teach my bot to delete these messages or something. I think it's important that people realize they can ask. Exactly. That's kind of the approach I take. Dumb question, but do you think you'd be better at makeup if you were trans? Yeah, 100%. I 100%. I truly think that I would be better at makeup if I were trans, because I'd be highlighting more feminine aspects, and that's just not what I do. I was talking about intellectually. Well, then you're being intellectually dishonest. What's your favorite Pokemon? Bulbasaur! Yeah, childish people, exactly. And uneducated, true. 2%ers, hilarious. Oh my goodness gracious. We all know the only way to get with creators is Twitch chat. Also true. There are male content creators? Hilarious. English isn't my language. That's all right. You're right, Azu. You just contribute when you can. Nice cheekbones. Thank you. I think men, I'll speak only for myself, we don't want to seem keen with friending other men. I guess that's its own issue, right? I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I do feel like there probably is a struggle for guys to become friends with other guys when they are, let's say, moving cities, for example. I think that's where some of this extra loneliness epidemic can come from, is not necessarily the romantic side of things, but just trying to make friends with other people. I say that as well. It can be really, really difficult. And so when you leave school and you go to uni, or you leave uni, like, it can be really hard to make friends for sure. Wiki, YouTube, I think it's because there's less moderation, and so it just becomes this like, good morning. I sure find it wonderful to listening to you in the mornings. I hope you're having a great day. That's really sweet. Thank you, little miss. I needed that little pick me up with her. I'm just getting a little bit exhausted with some of the commentary from today, so it was really nice to hear that. Hey, Rob! You slept, what, for only 3 hours? We've only been here for 3.5. Who would win in a fight, Darth Maul or Grievous? I like to think Darth Maul, but that's because I think he's badass. So I am from New Zealand, and my parents are, well, my mum's in New Zealand, so I can't really go and celebrate with her. I'm here all on my lonesome, so not really much I can do. Lots of straight men come a long way with respecting and learning about other individuals' way of living. I completely agree with this for sure. Everyone like and subscribe. Oh, thank you, Alyssa. That is very sweet. That is very, very, very sweet. Friendship is precious, but only to those who appreciate it. Yeah, I keep a small circle too.
Yeah, it's Mother's Day, apparently. He has a great backstory. Where'd my, there it is. These redheads gotta stick together. Yeah, he's literally a redhead. I love that. You're doing great. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad that people are able to lurk because I don't think that my content is really well suited for lurking. So it does make me appreciative when people can lurk. Now you'll be fine, Omar. I don't think she'll care that much. Yeah, Bulbasaur. Okay. I'm tired. I don't think I can continue. I am burnt out, basically. Why do bots keep saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, user. I don't know what you're talking about. I feel a little bit burnt out, so we're not going to play... I guess... No, we're not going to play any video games today. And I will be back tomorrow. Ah, thanks, Spillier. That's really sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think that me rolling straight out of bed into stream and rushing this morning kind of put me in this high adrenaline state that has worn off over the last few hours instead of pacing myself. But I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to play some Red Dead Redemption. I won't be live in the morning, I don't think. But if you guys want to see the schedule, make sure you're in the Discord channel because that's the best place to stay up to date. Indeed, there will be no stream tomorrow morning, but I will be playing some games later. I think I might start a little bit earlier so that we can get the chatter out of the way too. Thank you so much, Lil Goth. Let me hear it.
Be careful about the werewolf cult that is infesting YouTube. They are everywhere. Fortunately, they are easy to spot as they always ask you for a like and subscribe.
It would have been so good if Brian knew how the frick to say like and subscribe. I can't believe it said lick and subscribe. Guys, please make sure to lick and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, whatever you get up to. Thanks mods for handling the chat. You've been putting in a lot of work. And yeah, thanks guys. Hold on, I do want to cover this one. If with high stimulation, then whatever. Why are you still talking about stimulation, Ken? Why are you bringing this up? Why are you including the stimulation? You know what? Actually, I will cover this because I do feel like I'm letting my frustrations come like not make me feel like I am giving the leeway that I normally would. Ken, I don't know anything about you, so I understand the desire of wanting to maybe do a one-on-one so that you can express your own opinions. However, what I will say and what I will teach you is that you're coming across as somewhat a little bit maybe on the spectrum. And I don't mean that as an insult. I really don't. It's just more so this is why I'm actually addressing it because I feel like I have been disingenuous. And so I recognize, okay, cool. I recognize that if you're like, yeah, like if something else were to happen, it is this understanding that you don't know where things are going to go because you're living in this reality of vague, a million possibilities. However, if you were to put that idea out there onto someone else, that is all I'm gonna hear. That is all I'm going to hear. It is going to discount everything else of what you've said. And that is why you were timed out. And that is why I had a reaction, especially compiled with everything else that has been happening today, with how many people have been tackling my objectifying me, basically. So thank you, Rob. Thank you. I do appreciate that. My little pink ones. And so... yes, you can say, I wonder what it would be like to have a one-on-one on you. But you need to ask yourself, how is someone going to receive this information? Right? Oh, no, I don't think it is a I think on the spectrum, I don't mean it as an insult because I mean it as a recognition that everyone communicates differently. Okay. You're not unempathetic. Perfect. So you can understand why I would be on edge for someone being like, ooh, I wonder what a one-on-one would be like. So I would then therefore And so yes, I agree with you that you could say like I didn't mean it any other way. And if something out, like if there is something highly stimulating or whatever, then that is technically in the realm of possibility. But like I said, that is the only thing that is going to be heard. And so it is just that recognition and remembering that you have to be aware of how these things are going to be received and come across. And that's why I wanted to check myself just now, because I feel like it was going against how I try to preach my words and behaviors, and I was letting my own frustrations get the better of me. And so that's why I've taken the time now to just be like, here's communication, here's the honesty, etc., etc., etc. That is all. So yes, I do apologize for being reactionary, but I am also appreciative that you can understand why I was feeling reactionary. And that is why we can express these things and be hopefully better off on the other side. Clem Scooby, nice y'all. Thank you. Okay, that makes more sense, and this I can absolutely understand. And like I said, that is why I wanted to make sure to address it before. That's why I wanted to address it before completely dismissing it. But I can tell you that the thing that made me pick up on it is said, if with high stimulation, then whatever. That is a phrase that this is why I don't see being on the spectrum as necessarily an insult, because if anything, it was an identifier for me to be like, there is some like-minded individuality because of the inability to leave things vague and be far more specific with these things, of understanding that there is nuance and maybe something would happen, and I don't know, but that's not what I was talking about. But like also, that is technically in the realm of possibility if we're in this hypothetical of a one-on-one. And you can hear that this rant is why I picked it out. So thank you for giving us another chance, Ken, because you're right. There might be you've made me intrigued. You've changed my mind. Changed my mind, and hopefully we have now come to a middle ground, and that is what we love. We have disagreements. We have two different perspectives that were not being seen through the same lens, and now we have continued the discussion, and we have come to a nice agreement, I hope at least. And that is why I often try to call out other people, because I'm like, give me your perspective. Let's find the middle ground. And they don't want to go to the middle ground. Ken wants to go to the middle ground, and that is incredible. La 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 la. Thank you. No, I really appreciate that, and hopefully that that little rant shows my willingness to change as well, and not be too caught up in my own biases. Yeah, exactly, Alpaca. It's nice to be open. Cool. And thank you for the follow, Tommy. Thank you. Fat W's today's indeed from the mods. They're doing excellently. Very excellently. What is this stream about? I don't even know, but it is about to end. But first of all, thank you guys for turning up today. I'm sorry that it didn't really have a lot of structure. I was planning on playing some video games, but I think instead I am going to go upload a gaming edit. So if you see that turn up on your feed, make sure to give it a little thumbs up. Yeah, I've just been... I'll go do some edits and roll out some of the little shorts and clips that have come from the live streams. I'll be back tomorrow to play some Red Dead Redemption in the afternoon. Anything else that I want to say? Yeah, I think I'm just feeling... I know that I very, very transparently am not in the best
I'm doing my part.
mindset right now, because I have gotten exhausted, like I said, because of the high adrenaline starting, and then I think that burnt me out through today's burnt through today's stream, unlike the pacing that I usually practice. So hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better. So thank you guys for participating, even in this kind of situation. So I do really appreciate it. We had a lot of raids today, so shout out to all of the raiders. And we also, we had Blue, we had Pods Guy, we had Les. And thank you guys for being here and you know, your contributions to the chat, your contributing your time. Thanks, guys. Okay, yeah, like, sub, join Twitch, the Discord, all the kind of things, or whatever it is. Anyway, I'm done now. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Much appreciated and much love. Sorry that it's kind of a blunt end. I feel like I wanted to end on a little bit of a higher note, but you know, we're only human after all. And when we're live streaming so often, you can see those cracks. And hopefully you guys will still respect me. G'day and goodbye, North Star. Oh, that's right. So thanks, class. Thanks, class. How do we say goodbye? That could be a cute way to end. So we're gonna try a new thing of hey, class has ended. How do we normally we have like a bell ringing. We say no homework today. No homework. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Back here, back at school, back in class. See you later. Clean up, everybody everywhere. Clean up, everybody do the shit. We'll workshop it. Pick your nose. No, nose. I could not. Class dismissed. That's cute. I like that. Class dismissed. That is a very sweet way. Incredible. Season Lounge. At least one of us is onto it today. All right. Class dismissed.